The following is an exclusive presentation of JP Sports.
From a rain-drenched Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham, it's the 7th-ranked Clemson Tigers of Danny Ford against the pass-minded Blue Devils of Steve Spurrier. Duke's only win of the season came here in Durham. It's been a frustrating 1-3 start for last season's ACC Coach of the Year. The latest in a long line of productive Duke passers is Billy Ray, here with a touchdown toss to Clarkston Hines. But frequent double coverage on Duke's All-American wideout has made the short passing game even more important. Roger Boone is now just 7 catches shy of the all-time ACC reception record. Danny Ford's Tigers are off to a perfect start at 4-0, and even Coach Ford can allow himself a smile. Any coach would smile with a defense like Clemson's. Not only are they #1 in the ACC, but also ranked 7th in the country, allowing just 221 yards per game. Clemson intercepted Duke 4 times a year ago and have 5 interceptions here in 1989. It's not all defense for the Tigers. They also have the top scoring offense in the conference and the #2 rusher in Terry Allen, on a course to become Clemson's all-time career rushing leader. And the fullback spot is also a productive one. Wesley McFadden scored twice a week ago in the win over Maryland. So today, the top-ranked defense meets the #1 offense, Clemson and Duke, here in Durham.
JP Sports presents the best in regional college football, the Atlantic Coast Conference. Today's game is brought to you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Jack Corrigan here at a soggy Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. 4-0 Clemson right now, Jack, and 1-3 for the Duke Blue Devils. They were 7-3-1 a year ago. Clemson's got a big game coming up with Virginia. Is it possible they can overlook these guys?
Well, certainly that's what Steve Spurrier and the Duke Blue Devils want this afternoon, Brad. Clemson had to have seen the film of last week's game when Virginia dominated the Duke defense, and Clemson knows what is coming the following week against Virginia. Duke is hoping that maybe they're not up to their real high emotional peak that Clemson usually is, and with their passing game, if the weather allows it, maybe they can exploit the Clemson defense.
That's going to be a question mark. Of course, almost 300 yards a game for Duke in the air. And what effect will the weather have on the ball game? Let's go down to Mike Hogwood on the sideline and find out. Mike?
Well, one thing I can tell you, Brad, it is wet down here. We've had a steady drizzle all through the night, and the field, the grass, is pretty wet right now. We've checked with the weather forecasters, and they say it's going to get worse before the day is over. We asked both coaches, how will the weather affect today's game?
Well, if it is raining, hopefully it won't be a downpour, and we'll be able to keep the balls somewhat dry. If that's the case, I think it favors the passing team a little bit because it cuts down on the pass rush, it cuts down on the quickness of the defensive backs and linebackers. So if it's just a slight drizzle, that shouldn't hurt us too bad.
I think no one really knows whether rain helps a throwing team or a running team. You try to say it helps you no matter what happens because you don't want your young people to know. But I can see some advantages. If you're going to throw the football and you make your cuts and you throw it on time, it's hard for a defensive guy to break on the ball when he's afraid of footing. It's also hard for the guy to throw a wet ball and the ball to slide through a receiver's hand.
Well, right now we have a steady drizzle that Steve Spurrier was talking about. And again, the forecasters say it should get worse before the day is over. We've got our rainwear out, so we'll try to stay dry down here and keep you posted how it's affecting the game down from this angle. Brad, Jack?
All right, Mike, thanks so much. Stay dry if you can. Here come the Clemson Tigers, a ground-oriented offense, of course, and 39 weeks in the top 20, #7 coming into this one. How about it, Jack? You were a receiver as we look at Danny Ford come out. You're what you think effect the weather could have on Duke in their air war today?
Well, certainly from Duke's perspective, the key will be, as Steve Spurrier indicated, the ability to keep the ball dry and for the receivers to keep their hands dry, whether they are going to be wearing the gloves that are so popular with receivers now, or will they just be trying to find a dry spot in their uniform or a teammate's uniform to keep their hands dry. But if you can do that in the short to medium passing game that the Duke Blue Devils employ, they are going to have a definite advantage on the Clemson defense because they know where they're going on their routes. If Billy Ray can be effective, they may be able to control the ball through the air like Clemson likes to do on the ground.
We saw Clemson a week ago in their win over Maryland, and obviously they do not throw the ball much. Steve Spurrier said that he felt they would try to take advantage of a Duke defense that's given up a lot of yards in the air. The Blue Devils bring it out 1-3, 0-1 in the ACC. And of course last year 7-3-1, so it has been a disappointing start for the Blue Devils so far here in '89. The Duke Blue Devils and the 7th-ranked Clemson Tigers, and we've got the kickoff coming up here at Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham after this. Back at Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham, where the rain has intensified, and they tell us it'll only get worse. Everybody out in the rain gear today. It'll be hard to tell the Clemson fans from the Duke fans with all the ponchos that are out here today, many of them orange, but the blue-clad Duke Blue Devils will kick it away. Randy Gardner, their freshman kicker.
Well, there is one section of predominantly ponchos that I think is safe to assume is the Clemson rooting section.
I think you're right. Henderson, one of the deep men and one of the more dangerous return men, not only in the ACC but in the country. Clemson, in fact, the #1 team in the ACC in kickoff returns, almost 26 per return. Duke's only win came over Northwestern here in Durham, and they're looking for a major upset of the Clemson Tigers today as we are underway. Gardner's kick will go out of bounds, and we'll do it again. Gardner will be doing double duty, in fact, today, and maybe he's thinking about his punting chores upcoming on that opening kickoff.
Well, actually, you're in a situation in wet conditions that a soccer-style kicker not really sure how that ball is going to come off his shoe, and we may see some interesting kicking from both sides in this ball game. Of course, Chris Gardocki is an outstanding kicker and punter for Clemson, but it'll be our first opportunity anyway to see how Chris performs in less than ideal situations.
That's right, and really the lack of tee has not had any effect on the games we've done so far, and with a guy like Gardocki that you watch every once in a while, it doesn't have much impact on him. He's been so strong and so consistent. Gardner's teed it up again, and we're set for the second time to kick it away. Doug Thomas and Joe Henderson, the deep man for Clemson. Henderson at the 8. Across the 25-30, got some room out to the 38-yard line. And Duke makes the stop after a 30-yard return. Chris Morocco at quarterback for the Clemson Tigers as we take a look at our AC Delco starting lineups. Joining Morocco, Terry Allen and Wesley McFadden. Is there a better pair in the conference? Probably not. Fletcher and Cooper are the wideouts. Cooper, the big play man for the Tigers. Ratton, Fletch, Phillips, Harmon, Long, and Stacy Fields is the tight end as Clemson sets up at its own 38-yard line. Terry Allen, we'll see a lot of him today. Duke's already seen too much, maybe, as he goes out to the 45. He picked up 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Erwin Sampson made the stop defensively for the Duke Blue Devils, and here's the front wall. McDonald, Allen, Cly, and Anderson for Duke. Their linebackers, Edwards, Allen, and Sally. And we'll see a lot of those linebackers up close to the line of scrimmage today, Steve Spurrier told us, just because he's got to slow down the running game somehow. That's been hard for anyone to do as Clemson comes in well over 200 yards a game on the ground. And Terry Allen fights his way near the first down marker, but he didn't get there. Nice stop defensively. Sampson and Anderson combine on the hit. As you look at the secondary, McCracken, who took a kickoff return for a touchdown a year ago in this game, Smith, Dickerson, and Erwin Sampson. Sampson says, hey, everybody expects us to lose. We're going to go out and have fun and see what happens. And that has been really what Steve Spurrier has preached to his team this week, that they have not played with that reckless enthusiasm of the Duke team of a year ago. So Morocco comes up with a 3rd down and 2 for the Tigers. Chip Davis in motion toward the ball on the option. Morocco keeps and gets the first down across midfield into Duke territory. Randy Sally and Erwin Sampson made the hit, and already the Clemson offense has moved its way down to the Duke 48-yard line. Pick up a 6.
And Chris Morocco doing the thing he wants to do better, and he gets a little better each week. Run the option attack, and of course, from a defensive perspective, Duke has to worry about the pitch going wide. Although under these conditions, Brad, and with the prospect of not getting much better, you really need to put more pressure on the quarterback in the option situation.
First down for the Tigers. Play action for Morocco. Got some pressure, goes deep in the middle, and it is intercepted. Picked off in the Duke secondary. Erwin Sampson, or is it Wyatt Smith? Wyatt Smith, the cornerback, picks it off, and that gives Duke life here early.
Watch the pressure that Chris Morocco gets up the middle. It was late pressure, but coming on the play was Preston Anderson. And this is just a jump ball situation, and Wyatt Smith, one of 3 Blue Devil defenders back there covering Gary Cooper. An early break for Duke.
So Duke at its own 18-yard line with a first down. And they'll keep it on the ground, and Roger Boone has a big hole across the 25 out near the 26-yard line. Duke's offense run by Billy Ray, the quarterback, who of course was a transfer, sat out last year after transferring from Alabama. Just another in the long line of great quarterbacks that the Duke Blue Devils have put out. Second down and 3 for Duke. They'll give it to the fullback this time. Chris Brown takes it out for a first down outside the 30 to the 32, where James Lott made the stop for Clemson. And the AC Delco starting lineups for the Blue Devils. You see Boone and Brown in the backfield. Clements making a start today with the All-American Clarkston Hines on the other side. Port, Petrov, Metz, Talakro, Natowski, and Kalana, the tight end, who they'll obviously use a lot. They use all their receivers a lot. And they have their first down of the ball game just outside their own 31-yard line. Billy Ray, play action. His first throw of the day over the middle. Clarkston Hines at the 48-yard line. Duke wasting no time trying to get an early advantage on Clemson. Arlington Nunn made the tackle after a 17-yard gain.
Well, if you have 2 good running plays, play action is a great call to make following that. And this, in good conditions or bad conditions, is a great catch. To be a great receiver, you have to be willing to come across the middle of the field. Clarkston Hines has no difficulty in that area.
His 18th catch of the season. Another first down for the Duke Blue Devils, just outside their own 48. Ray quickly throws out, got it complete to Hines, broke the tackle, and he dives to the 46, where James Lott made the stop for the Clemson defense. And the Clemson defense, and it is a good one, it's given up some ground here early. Moore, Bodine, and Hammond across the front wall. The linebackers, probably not a faster set of linebackers in all of college football. And the secondary, Lott is the key ingredient there. Nunn, Davis, and Henderson. And that's our AC Delco starting lineups. AC Delco, automotive parts that don't just fit, they match. And Billy Ray was ready to pull away early.
I think they were going into the shotgun there, Brad, and maybe drew Clemson off sides. Well, the officials discussed the situation. That's a correct call. I believe that Duke was just changing its formation. None of the down 5 moved.
Foul on defense, right? Dead ball foul on the defense.
Referee Bob Wood indicating that indeed it was a mistake on the part of the Clemson defense, and that marches the ball down just inside the Clemson 41, and another Duke first down.
So Duke, with 3 first downs on this drive, picked that one up the easy way by penalty at the Clemson 41-yard line. 1st and 10. Hines to the top of your screen from the gun. Billy Ray fires out in the flat. Walter Jones inside the 40. Nice move down to the 32-yard line.
Boy, one thing about Steve Spurrier, he just has some great offensive schemes. They ran a spread formation here out of the shotgun, have everybody rolling right like it's a screen, but actually it's a screen reverse, if you will, as they have Walter Jones coming back the opposite way against the screen. They pick up positive yardage.
They picked up 9. 2nd down, a yard to go. They keep it on the ground. Chris Brown, the fullback, and he's got the first down as he bangs his way near the 29, maybe the 28-yard line, before Doug Brewster made the hit defensively for the Tigers.
don't minimize Duke's ability to run the football this afternoon. I talked with the Virginia coaches this week to get a little feel for what the Duke offense did against them. They said Duke early in the game was dominating the line of scrimmage.
They in fact led Virginia last week 10-0 before the Cavaliers and Sean Moore came storming back. Another first down for Duke. Billy Ray over the middle. Just overshot Dave Kalana, the tight end, who got a hand on it, but then Arlington Nunn let him have it in the midsection. Incomplete at 2nd and 10.
Billy Ray throws this ball about 2 yards too far for Dave Kalana. You can see that ball drifting a little bit. Kalana wanted to catch the ball a little bit more in that bubble, but Arlington Nunn, with good anticipation, is able to come up and knock the ball away from Kalana, and Billy Ray knows, well, we could have had it. Maybe I needed to have a little bit more touch.
His first incompletion of the afternoon. So it's 2nd and 10. Billy Ray over the middle, high again, and almost intercepted. In fact, it is intercepted. Levon Kirkland scraped that one off the surface. And the Clemson defense comes up with a big play.
Trying to throw a little underneath route, and again he gets the ball too high for Chris Brown, and Kirkland, wow.
Clemson maybe got a break. Tigers on offense when we come back after this.
We talk about conditions affecting the players this afternoon. It also affects the officials. Levon Kirkland comes up with an interception that the benefit of our replay show probably wasn't, but the officials can't move always into the positions they want to be because of the conditions.
Good point. First down, Clemson gives it to McFadden. Only got short yardage. Preston Anderson closes in on him defensively. Anderson, a junior out of Connecticut. 6'4", 260. Duke not as big as Clemson physically. Their offensive line, I guess, would match up with anybody's, but on defense, not quite the size the Clemson Tigers have. Only 2nd down and 9 for Chris Morocco and the Tiger offense. There's Terry Allen. Allen brought down at the 26-yard line as Duke does a nice job of stretching it out. John McDonald and Erwin Sampson over to make the hit.
Here's another reason why these conditions, at least early on, may give Duke some help. Terry Allen is an elusive, shifty runner who likes to work to the outside. He has to pick his way a little bit more carefully on this kind of track, and that's an advantage for the Duke defense if they can get there.
There's Terry Allen on the season, number 2 in the conference. Let's see if they give it to him or keep it, or rather put it in the air with a 3 wide receiver set. Morocco back. And he overshot Terry Allen near the 32-yard line, which would have been a first down. But Clemson's going to have to give it up.
When Clemson's in an obvious pass situation, they like to do very safe patterns. They take the 2 wide receivers and clear the zone. Terry Allen, not only was that safe, that could have been a big play because the linebackers were very late in getting out there.
Chris Gardocki. Quick snap. And the kick not the greatest. Wyatt Smith's going to let it bounce. Did somebody accidentally touch it down there? Duke's got the ball anyway after a 42-yard kick. So the Duke Blue Devils, who drove it right down the field offensively, have their 2nd offensive possession coming up after we pause for this word from our local stations. Duke starts from its own 33-yard line. Its 2nd possession of the afternoon. Show a 3 wide receiver set for Billy Ray. Here comes a blitz. Ray's going deep down the middle. He's got a man out there. Oh! Keith Ewell had a touchdown, and he didn't take the ball along.
Under these kinds of conditions, you don't expect this kind of pattern. Pass all the way. Clemson on an all-out blitz. It's man coverage. Keith Ewell had clearly outrun James Lott, and the ball hit him right in the face mask. You just want to keep running as a receiver here. You just stay right out the door, get in your car, go home, try it another day.
Billy Ray says, I can't put it in there any better than that. On 2nd and 10, he'll throw another one, this time outside and out of bounds. pass out there to Boone. He's bumped out. It'll be 3rd and 10. Let's go down to Mike Hogwin on the sideline. Mike.
Well, Brad, obviously Duke facing a big 3rd down play here, but that last drive gave this team momentum and spark and certainly brought the whole Duke sideline to life. Dave Colonna, the tight end, hurt on the last series. He's back in there now, bruised ribs, but he says he's going to play today.
First 3rd down situation of the game for the Duke Blue Devils. Billy Ray, and he got it off to Colonna, the tight end. First down at the Clemson 46, a 21-yard pass play.
When you have a wide open offensive attack, you've got to have a good tight end as your release man. And this time, a great bench cut by Dave Colonna. He ran down the field, gave a little head fake towards the post, broke it back towards the bench, towards the sidelines, made a nice catch.
That's why he's averaging over 15 yards a catch for those kinds. Got 21 there. They'll keep it on the ground to Boone, who got a yard to the 45. Doug Brewster on the bottom of the pile, the junior linebacker out of Athens, Georgia, after a 1-yard pickup, 2nd down and long coming up.
When we watched Maryland go up against this fine Clemson defense last week, one of the things the Tigers did so well was put Maryland into 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations. Duke was able to convert the first 3rd and long, but they don't want to get into too many of these 2nd and 9s, 3rd and 10s.
Darrell Clements comes to the bottom of your screen. Clarkston Hines to the left side. Ray looks that way and goes complete to his fullback Brown. And Brown fights it down to the 37. He's going to be about a yard shy, I'd say, of the first down. James Lott made the hit. Chris Brown came in with 15 catches on the season.
You can see the good preparation that Steve Spurrier has done to try and counteract the quickness and the aggressiveness of Clemson. As you do a lot of deception to make them run themselves out of place.
3rd down, about a yard to go. And Billy Ray's going to do it himself. And he's got a 6'4" frame that he just leaned forward to the 35. Got a nice surge from the right side of his offensive line. Metz and Solakro and Natowski, and he's got a first down.
Well, they've got a veteran offensive line here for the Duke Blue Devils. That's a comfort to a guy like Billy Ray, who realizes that he is going to see an awful lot of heat from one of the best defenses in the country. It's nice to know the guys in front of you know what they're doing and have been doing it for a while.
Saw that last stat on Ray, not only ranked highly in the ACC, number 14 in the country in total offense. From the shotgun on first down. Ray goes out. This one complete to Boone, broke a tackle, but I don't think he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he'll lose it way back to the 41-yard line. He's going to lose 6 or 7 yards on that one.
Quickness is imperative, and the Clemson defense has it in abundance. That time it was Doug Brewster. Good recognition. Even though he doesn't make the tackle on Roger Boone, he slowed it up enough for all that quickness, all that pursuit to finish it off.
So a 3 wide receiver offense on 2nd and 16 for Duke at the Clemson 41. No score here in the first quarter. Ray deep in the middle, nobody home except the Clemson Tigers. Robert O'Neill, and he lost the handle, and Duke might get back on top of this ball. Wow, what a crazy play. Duke recovers the fumble. Kerry Metz, the center, comes up with that one after the interception by Robert O'Neill.
We got Clarkston Hines as the intended receiver. He slips. The ball was overthrown anyway, but the slip affected it. You get the interception, and back they come the other way, and Kerry Bubba Metz ends up with the football.
Tough way to pick up a first down, I'd say. First down for the Duke Blue Devils after the change of possession. So they've got it now just outside the Clemson 36. Play action for Ray. Pump fakes and goes deep for Jones. Can't quite get there. Boy, and they will air it out.
They have excellent wide receivers in Clarkston Hines and Walter Jones, the younger brother of Cedric Jones, or Cedric Jones, I guess is how Cedric likes it pronounced, up there with the New England Patriots. He had a step, and Billy Ray was about a yard or two too long. But as a quarterback, you just say, all right, let's reload.
Let's do it again. He's done it 12 times and completed 6, and he has a 2nd and 10. And again, a 3 wide receiver set with Kalana in a slot right. interception. As time comes out, incomplete. Getting a hand on it was Jerome Henderson, the cornerback.
I got to tell you, that was an excellent play by Jerome Henderson. He takes a chance here, because if he doesn't make this play, he's going for the distance. Billy Ray able to get it off, but he actually had a good deal of time on that play, Brad, because that was like his third option in that sequence.
Duke's been perfect on their third down conversions, 2 for 2 today. They've got a 3rd and 10 here, just inside the Clemson 37. Here comes the heat on Billy Ray. Sticks in, goes over the middle. Knocked out of the hands of Walter Jones by Robert O'Neill, the man that intercepted just 4 plays ago.
The receiving core of the Duke Blue Devils may talk with their quarterback on the sidelines and say, we're going to do everything we can to catch the ball, Billy, but you got to get it a little closer to us if you can, because the Clemson secondary can lay a hit on you.
Randy Gardner will be punting today, as well as the place kicking duties. And he's going to take all the time he needs here. Lays up a lazy kick that might be a good one. Duke, in fact, catches it on the fly at the 6-yard line. So a great job by the special teams after a 31-yard kick, and the Clemson Tigers will be in a bit of a hole offensively when we come back. 5:26 to go first quarter. No score here in Durham.
One more look at the shot that Walter Jones takes on the 3rd down play as Robert O'Neill is right there. You want to try and get your receivers to catch the ball with their feet on the ground.
Clemson's Terry Allen almost broke free. Got it out to the 15, about an 8-yard pickup. Had one man to beat, and he would have been gone. That's how explosive he is offensively for Clemson.
2nd down and 1.
But you are forcing Clemson, if you are Duke, to drive nearly the length of the field for the Blue Devils. The 2 turnovers, but both times deep in Duke in Clemson territory.
Both wide receivers to the left side. It's a 2nd down, a yard to go, and Terry Allen again, and again he's got good yardage off the right side this time, across the 20, and he's got the 1st down. Rodney Dickerson came up from the secondary to make the stop.
Clemson has a pretty fair offensive line itself, particularly on their right side. Number 76, Eric Harmon, the right guard, and 67, Stacy Long, the right tackle. They're the strength of that offensive front, and when they like to run right.
Clemson with a 1st down. And this time it's the fullback McFadden who got short yardage. Picked up about a yard, and that's all. Middle of the Duke front comes in there, and Mark Allen made the first hit from his linebacker spot. So brings up 2nd down and 9 for Clemson with 4:10 to go first quarter. Tigers with the top scoring offense in the ACC, over 30 points a game. And with the defense as strong as it is, they've only needed about 10 points a game. Here comes a blitz on a toss sweep to Allen. Broke a tackle at the 25, 30, all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Ball carrier, Terry Allen.
Terry Allen, once he gets the corner, Jack, look out.
And Randy Sally, the guy who was trying to get him on the corner, is still down on the turf here at Wallace Wade Stadium. Boy, Terry Allen is elusive. Even at the end, when you expected him to run his way out of bounds, he stayed in and picked up 3 or 4 more yards.
Got 17 in all on the carry.
There you see the numbers. He is getting closer and closer to the number 2 spot, and eventually will take over as the all-time leading rusher at Clemson. Randy Sally assisted off the field. They have had their share of problems injury-wise, the Duke Blue Devils have in their linebacking core. Their defensive captain, John Howell, got hurt before the first game of the season. Had arthroscopic knee surgery. He's still not back, so that's a young group behind the defensive line for Duke.
Clemson with a 1st down at its own 40-yard line. Duke shifts on that front wall. The fullback McFadden. And Morocco takes it all the way inside the 45. Well, he had me.
He had me.
19 yards. Quentin McCracken made the tackle for Duke.
What an excellent play fake on the option by Chris Morocco. And he got a good block on the corner by Stacy Long that enabled Morocco to turn upfield.
The senior out of Athens, Georgia, with the first down run, and Clemson at the Duke 41-yard line. And this is Henderson. Penalty markers down. Inside the 30 goes Henderson. Would be about a 12-yard gain, but we may have a holding call.
Stop by Jackson with a flag on the field.
They'll bring it back.
See if we can see it in the middle of the screen right there. On number 99, John McDonald. It looked like somebody hooked John to create the space. Danny Ford not happy about that. Clemson rarely beats itself.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
As you were talking about last week, Jack, they don't have penalties. They don't have turnovers. That's why they win a lot of football games.
Well, the Morocco interception early in the ballgame was the first turnover by the first unit this year for Clemson. And of course, the Tigers are playing in their 5th ball game. Those are some of the reasons why Clemson is undefeated and ranked in the top 10. They dominate most categories.
1st and 20 after the holding call. Here's Morocco out to Fletcher. Dives forward to the 42-yard line. A penalty marker comes in at the end of that play.
They're going to call George Edwards, the Duke linebacker, for a late hit on Rodney Fletcher. So this will move the ball down into about the 27-yard line of Duke. Fletcher just a little stop-up route. McCracken's got him for the tackle, and then they say that George Edwards, right there on the edge of your screen, hit a little bit late.
Dead ball foul, personal foul on the defense, first down.
First down, Clemson, and let's go down to Mike Hogwood. Mike?
Well, Brad, Randy Sally has had some problems with his shoulder. He popped it out when he tried to tackle Terry Allen a moment ago. They're going to hold him out of the first half, try to see if he can come back second half. That's not good news for the Duke defense.
They are not the deepest to start with, as we mentioned, so that is bad news. And the bad news for Duke is Clemson's Terry Allen on the run to the 15. 13 more yards in a hurry. Rodney Dickerson brings him down, and Terry Allen's getting warmed up now.
Look at the size of the hole on the left side of your screen. Good lead block by Wesley McFadden, and Allen knows how to drift away from the pursuit. Great tailbacks will be the first to tell you that a great blocking fullback in front makes a heck of a difference.
And he's got a good one in McFadden, who can carry it himself pretty well. First down, Clemson at the 14. Terry Allen, this time wrapped up after a pickup of a couple. Anthony Allen, senior defensive tackle, made the hit. 1:45 and the clock running to go first quarter. No score. But Morocco and the Clemson offense has moved it down now to the Duke 11-yard line. Second down and a long 7 coming up.
Got the wide side of his field to his right. Let's see if they go back to the option to the right side, Brad.
As Fletcher up there to the top of your screen, and Chip Davis in a slot. The pitch to Terry Allen, who cuts back and scores. Terry Allen, 11 yards for the touchdown.
We talked last week about this fine running back Terry Allen and his ability to be patient, let his blockers do their job, and let the defense perhaps run away from where you're headed. Boy, Hank Phillips did a nice job there of finishing off George Edwards to allow Terry Allen to cut back the Clemson center with the key block to pave the way for the touchdown.
Gardocki for the point after. Clemson Tigers with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter on the scoreboard first. 7th ranked team in the country up by a touchdown. We'll be back at Wallace Wade Stadium after this.
Terry Allen on his way perhaps to a big day. He was the key man on this touchdown drive that covered 93 yards. The cutback ability of Terry Allen on a less than ideal track is almost as effective as the short passing game that Duke has, or that they hope they'll be able to maintain.
You see what Allen did on that drive. 59 of that 93 yards was Terry Allen, including 11 for the touchdown.
Well, of course, one of the greatest ever to play the game of football, the Kansas Comet Gale Sayers, excelled on off tracks.
That's right.
And Terry Allen showing a little moisture doesn't bother his game.
John Kubu to kick off. Randy Jones at the 6. A collision at about the 21, and Jones got the better of it out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Duke offense goes back to work.
Another trademark of Clemson, contact. But Randy Jones more than held his own in that battle with James Trapp. Boom.
Good play by both players. Duke at their own 25-yard line. Toss sweep to Roger Boone, looking for the corner. Clemson defense is so quick. James Lott made the tackle. No gain. 2nd and 10 coming up.
This is an important series for the Duke offense. They've been moving the football but breaking down in Clemson territory. Now they've seen Clemson take the lead. They've got to reestablish themselves and finish off a drive. Not easily done against that Clemson defense. Lott covers a lot of territory out of that safety spot.
Kalana, the tight end, in motion to the top of your screen on 2nd and 10. Billy Ray fires out. And a first down out near the 45-yard line to Darrell Clements. Give him 20 on the pass play.
James Lott playing the zone out to the wide side of the field, and they just thread that little hook route in between. The advantage of a good tight end like Dave Kalana, when he turns outside, you've got to respect that. It opens up the lane for that curl pattern inside.
His motion is not just window dressing. He's in motion again. On a first down for Duke. Billy Ray going deep left sideline. Overshot Clarkston Hines. He's All-American. And Billy Ray upset with himself.
Well,
Hines, a two-time All-American. Excuse me, Dick.
Excuse me, as you look at Terry Allen on the sidelines off to a big day. That was a slight adjustment pattern there, and I think Billy Ray and Clarkston Hines weren't on the same page. Billy read it as take it all the way up the sidelines, and Hines felt it was a play where I'm going to fall in that bubble out there about 20-25 yards. That's why Ray was upset after the play.
He brings his troops up with a 2nd and 10. Duke at its own 45-yard line. Ray throws complete. What a catch by Walter Jones. Sliding one way, diving back to make the grab at the Clemson 44-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a first down.
Again, pretty good protection for Billy Ray. And just an excellent catch, but that's just superb under these conditions. You have Boone clearing out the underneath coverage. It leaves the curl open. Jones did a great job of staying with the ball for a first down as the quarter comes to a close.
Well, the Blue Devils driving but trailing. After the end of one, it's the Clemson Tigers 7, the Duke Blue Devils nothing. We'll be back in Durham after this. With Jack Corrigan and Mike Hogwood, Brad Nessler back with you at Wallace Wade Stadium. You see the Clemson Tigers with a touchdown lead, but the Duke Blue Devils have been impressive on offense through the air, while Clemson's done it all on the ground. From the shotgun is Billy Ray on first down. Kalana, his tight end, goes inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. And again, Kalana, as Mike told us earlier, playing with some rib problems, but in there nonetheless, and he's made 2 catches since he was injured earlier.
They've gone to the shotgun on occasion, particularly on plays where they anticipate some inside pressure from the Clemson defense. Kalana, the release man underneath again, gets good positive yardage on first down.
Got 7 at 2nd and 3. And they're going to be very close to the first down as Randy Jones carried it inside the Clemson 35. Danny Ford, 90 career wins in his 12th season with the Tigers. Going to take a look at this one. They bring the sticks out. couldn't get much closer. First down, Duke.
First down, Duke.
Literally by the nose of the football, the very end of the ball, and a first down for the Blue Devils. There you see Steve Sladen, Anthony Dilweg now with the Packers, and Billy Ray. This long line of Duke quarterbacks, so productive, and Billy Ray is picking up where the others left off. Sladen and Dilweg both in the NFL. First down, Blue Devils at the Clemson 34. Ray may have changed things up at the line. Drops back and goes long. And Robert O'Neill has picked off his second pass of the day. The diving interception at the 3.
They tell defensive backs when the ball's in the air, you become a receiver. And if you didn't see the different colored jerseys, it would look like Robert O'Neill was the guy running the flag route rather than Darrell Clements. Well, that's an excellent play by Robert O'Neill, the freshman out of Clarkston, Georgia, high school All-American. Now you know why.
His second today, his third of the season. And Steve Spurrier telling Billy Ray, you can't throw that one unless your man is definitely open. From an old quarterback to a young quarterback, and the Tigers with a touchdown lead take over just inside their own 4-yard line. This is Henderson in to give Terry Allen a breather, and Henderson gets it out near the 7. George Edwards in on the stop defensively for Duke.
There's Robert O'Neill. He's got to be a happy young man. 2 interceptions this afternoon, and we are just a minute and a half into the second quarter. He knows there's going to be more balls in the air.
That's right. He's played so well, in fact, he almost started this week in place of Lott, and Lott's been their mainstay for years in the secondary. But the freshman pushing him for time. And 2 picks so far today. Henderson on the cutback, and he's going to be close to a first down. John McDonald got over from his defensive end spot, made the hit.
Well, the frustration we saw in the face of Steve Spurrier a few moments ago when he was talking to Billy Ray is because his team has been inside the Clemson 35 3 times in this ball game, and they've got nothing to show for it. And you cannot keep doing that against a quality football team like Clemson. It's going to come back and kill you.
Well,
and he knows it.
He does, and he said this week that they have to take advantage of every opportunity and make it count for points, or they're in for a long day. And the look on his face tells him it could be a long day unless his offense can score. Henderson has the corner. Knocked out at the 25. That'll be a first down.
Off his own right tackle.
Pick up a 12 for Joe Henderson, senior out of Freehold, New Jersey.
On the 25.
Again, the cutback ability of the Clemson tailbacks, a big advantage to their offense. They always seem to have tailbacks in pairs.
And of course, McFadden, who we haven't seen much of today as far as a running back, had 2 touchdowns a week ago, so you have to respect what he can do as the up man here in the eye. There he comes for 4, out to the 29. George Edwards made the hit. McFadden, Allen, and Henderson, all 3 of these guys will soon be over 2,000 combined yards in their Clemson career, so that shows you the kind of depth and firepower they have back there at both their tailback and their fullback spot. 2nd and 6. Clemson at its own 29-yard line with 11:50 to go in the half, and they're up 7-0. Whoop, Terry Allen picked that one out of midair when he almost lost the handle, and he gets it out to the 33, still short of the first down. Rodney Dickerson made the tackle.
And you've got another Duke linebacker with a problem. Mark Allen looks like he twisted an ankle or a knee and is hobbling to the sidelines. Well, Terry took his eye off that just before it got there because he wanted to take a peek at the backside pursuit. It almost cost him.
There you see Mark Allen that Jack talked about, and he is obviously in pain. And the Duke defense that could ill afford to lose frontline people, having lost a couple of players today. 3rd down and 2. Clemson at its own 33-yard line. Gibson, the tight end, in motion. Penalty markers down as McFadden got it out for first down yardage at the 36, but let's wait and see what the flag's about.
Well, that's the line judge, and usually that's an encroachment or procedure violation. And with the Duke kids clapping, illegal motion, illegal formation called against Clemson. So you take 3rd and short and now make it 3rd and 7, and that's what they've got to be able to do. One of the problems for the Duke defense this year, let's get the call
Illegal
first.
shift against the offense, 5 yards, and repeat 3rd down.
Illegal shift for Danny Ford's Tigers. Mike Hogwood on the sidelines. Mike.
Well, Brad, one thing about the weather, it has started to rain a lot harder in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and one problem they're having is keeping the balls dry, and may affect Billy Ray, and we'll just have to see when Duke gets back on offense.
All right, Mike, thanks. We're calling him Mike Driftwood today down on the sideline. Morocco off play action. Middle screen to McFadden, broke a tackle, and he has a first down. I call it a screen, but I guess really nobody out there in front of it.
Well, it's a screen in the idea that you let the Duke defense come charging in. Excellent play call by Danny Ford here. Basically, McFadden just slipped by his protectors, but he knew where he had to go to get to that first down. Broke the tackle right at the first down marker and picked up a few more and got it out over the 40.
Jeb Fletch, his left guard, was supposed to be his bodyguard, who he got behind and picked up positive yardage anyway. Terry Allen goes for 4 to the 45. Preston Anderson made the initial hit, along with Derek Jackson from the secondary.
I can hear him now. I wish it was halftime.
One of the real problems for the Duke defense this year, Brad, and it's why they have given up so many yards per game. They are allowing the opposition great success on 3rd down, well over 55%, and that's why your defense is out there a long time.
2nd and 6. Clemson at its own 45. Here comes Joe Henderson. Another penalty marker down in the middle of the field as Henderson slides to a stop at the Duke 46, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
And that play, the flag, came well after Henderson was by. It could be that the official couldn't get his flag out of his back pocket on this rainy afternoon.
If that wasn't the case, it was certainly a case of a lineman holding when he didn't have to, because Henderson was already gone. So the Tigers have been hurt by the flags today. Here's the call.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Second holding call of this drive for Danny Ford's Clemson Tigers, searching for their 4th straight ACC crown.
I think more penalties out of the Clemson Tigers than we saw all of last week.
That's right. 9:50 to go in the half. Clemson leads 7-0. 2nd down and 17 after the penalty. Morocco throws. Fletch couldn't hold on to it. The pass a little bit low, and you can see that the wet conditions probably played a part in him not being able to hold on to that one.
Quick slant in against the man coverage because a blitz was on, a little stop-up route, and Rodney Fletcher just decided to run before he caught the ball, and you really can't do that on a rainy day.
Back down to Mike Hogwood. Mike.
Well, Brad, you mentioned Mark Allen going out with an injury a moment ago. The injury to the left knee, they have ice on it now. He will not be back today. Unfortunately, more bad news for the Duke defense.
There is Mark Allen. That will hurt one of the inside starting linebackers. 3rd down at 17. Morocco going deep left sideline for Fletcher, and he got it. Inside the Duke 39-yard line. Erwin Sampson knocked him out, but the senior from Barnesville, Georgia, comes up with a big reception. 28 yards.
Erwin Sampson, the free safety, is really late getting over here to try and help Quentin McCracken out. He really was mesmerized by Chris Morocco. There was no other receiver in that half of the field. He has got to get over there a little more quickly to help his cornerback. Wasn't able to do it that time.
Morocco put it right where he had to. Terry Allen takes a big hit at the line of scrimmage, spun off for maybe a yard. Preston Anderson put the hit on Allen. You know, we talk about the fact that Danny Ford's Tigers don't throw much, but Morocco has done the job when asked to throw.
Watch the pop right there. Good contact by Preston Anderson. Junior out of Norwalk, Connecticut, political science major.
9 minutes to play in the half. 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers offense. And a penalty marker goes in as Allen goes down at the 34-yard line. Might have another penalty against Clemson. Illegal procedure.
Looked like the right guard, Eric Harmon, was about a half tick ahead of the count.
How much longer do you think he's going to hold his composure on the sideline?
Out of Norwalk, Connecticut, political science major.
9 minutes to play in the half. 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers offense. And a penalty marker goes in as Allen goes down at the 34-yard line. Might have another penalty against Clemson. Illegal procedure.
Looked like the right guard, Eric Harmon, was about a half tick ahead of the count.
How much longer do you think he's going to hold his composure on the sideline?
You can see little wisps of smoke starting to curl out of his ears, don't you? See if you can see right there. Eric Harmon was just a half a count ahead of the snap.
Ball foul. Illegal procedure. 2nd down.
This drive started inside the Clemson 5-yard line. They end up scoring. It's going to end up being a total yardage of well over 100 with all the backups and then recoveries from the penalty situations.
3 penalties for 21 yards on this drive. A couple of holding calls and that illegal procedure. 8:53 to go in the half. Clemson leading Duke by a touchdown. Brad Nessler, Jack Corrigan, Mike Hogwood, Wallace Wade Stadium on a very wet Saturday afternoon with the Clemson Tigers in front by a touchdown and facing 2nd down and 14. Morocco going deep for Cooper. Broken up. Wyatt Smith with the coverage. Cooper wanted an interference call and didn't get it.
Well, there was a little bit of contact, but incidental contact. Man coverage with the blitz coming on, and Morocco reads it. Wyatt Smith breaks up the play. The Clemson fans on the far side not happy. The #1 Clemson fan, Danny Ford, very unhappy.
Here's a situation the Tigers don't find themselves in very often. 3rd down and 14. They are 4 out of 5 on their 3rd down conversions. This will be their longest attempt by far. Play action for Morocco. Over the middle. Complete to Cooper, but back at the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. Erwin Sampson, nice job trailing him across the field to make the tackle.
Much better anticipation this time by the free safety for Duke, Erwin Sampson. The junior reads the crossing route of Gary Cooper and steps up from his safety spot.
We'll see Chris Gardocki one way or another here, and I think that's what the hesitation on the sideline was about. Do you let him try a long bomb field goal, or do you have him punt it away? And we've got the punting team in there right now.
Well, it'd be a 55-yard field goal. Under these kind of conditions, you just don't want to attempt something like that.
And Clemson will take a delay of game to give Gardocki a little better angle and a little more room to punt.
They'll back it up 5 yards.
Talking to Duke about maybe declining the penalty.
Ball foul. Delay of game on the offense. 4th down.
So Gardocki backs up now inside his own 45-yard line. Wyatt Smith in punt return formation there at the 10 for Duke. Gardocki booms one. Lands at the 2 and goes in. Gardocki would have liked to have taken a little bit off that 43-yard punt. 7:55 to go in the half. 7-0 Clemson. We'll be back after these words from your local stations. 7:55 to go in the half. Clemson leading 7-0 over the Duke Blue Devils, who have moved it up and down the field and still haven't scored. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by JP Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of the broadcast without express written permission of the Atlantic Coast Conference is prohibited. Billy Ray under pressure on first down. Out in the flat to Boone, and Arlington Nunn met him head on. He still picked up 6 yards.
Roger Boone closing in on the all-time mark for career receptions. Boy, that Duke offensive line does a great job for Billy Ray in giving him protection, and Billy does a good job of stepping up into the pocket.
Boone's got 2 catches on the day, so he's 5 shy of Wes Chesson's record. He gets it on the ground this time and fights his way to the 28, still 2 yards shy of the first down. Doug Brewster made the tackle for Clemson.
Roger Boone wants that play back again, Brad. He just couldn't make up his mind which way to cut. He had space to either side, but the hesitation caught him. He would have picked up the first down had he been able to be more decisive, but on an off track, that's not easily done.
Boone comes out. Randy Cuthbert checks in. With third down, 2 yards to go. Cuthbert's got 205 pounds back there if they choose to give it to him. Here he comes. First down. Across the 35 to the 37. 6'3", 205. Kept his balance beautifully on takeoff here. Started to slip, kept his balance, and still picked up 9 yards in the first down.
High school All-American out of a great high school program in eastern Pennsylvania, Central Bucks West, which had a long winning streak going for several seasons, something like 35, 40 ball games.
Cuthbert stays in there as the tailback in the eye on first down for Duke. Billy Ray goes to Cuthbert across the 40. Broke a tackle, and he's got another first down. 12 yards to midfield.
Boy, what good upper body strength for the sophomore. He came into the ball game with 7 catches on the season. He knows what to do with the football, and he is not shy at all. Will not work away from the contact. If he needs to do it, he'll put that head down, lower his shoulder, and make you pay for it. That's James Lott.
There's a good look at Cuthbert, the sophomore. He has Duke another first down just on the Clemson side of the midfield stripe. Billy Ray deep for Hines, and he made the catch on the sideline. It's an All-American catch.
I got to tell you, as an old receiver, I was really looking forward to seeing Mr. Hines work today, because good conditions or not, Clarkston Hines does some things that few people can do. This is a great catch on a sunny 80-degree day. On a day like today, that's really remarkable.
The only ACC player to put together back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons, and he's out there split wide right again. Cuthbert broke 2 tackles all the way to the Clemson 15. Hammond and Lott combined on the stop, but not before Cuthbert got 10 more, almost 11.
4th time down into Clemson territory. Duke's got to be able to finish it off on this drive. Watch Randy Cuthbert just shed Doug Brewster. And had he been able to avoid Walter Jones, he'd have more yardage than that.
Great leg drive. He hasn't stopped moving since he got into the lineup earlier in this possession. He stays in there with Chris Brown, the fullback. Cuthbert again. That'll be a problem for him with the Clemson pursuit. Lott came over to help Vance Hammond on the stop.
Well, they tried to cross Clemson up. They set up in a passing type formation, having their backs in a split situation upright like they were going to throw the football, and tried to run a quick toss, hoping that perhaps Clemson would be blitzing inside on the play. But Clemson stayed at home that time, played it pretty conservatively, and their pursuit cut down Cuthbert.
2nd down and 9. 4.5 minutes to go first half. Duke trailing by a touchdown. Billy Ray trying to change that, and he's in trouble. Throws incomplete, just threw it away. Closest man out there would be Darrell Clements.
He wanted to run a fade route to Clarkston Hines. Watch this, just double covered, Brewster is the inside guy, and Dexter Davis stopped him off the line of scrimmage long enough to destroy the play. They wanted to run that just little fade where you step inside and then fade towards that back corner. He never had a chance to get there.
Billy Ray's 12 out of 23. I'm sure number 24 is coming up here. Incomplete. I think Walter Jones may have stepped out of bounds anyway on that pass route. And so Duke's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Again, Dexter Davis with great man-to-man coverage. We talk about receivers being able to run good routes and catch the football. They also have to be able to get off the line of scrimmage in those bump and run situations. Davis won both those confrontations.
Randy Gardner's long 38-yard field goal, his longest of the season, I should say, came against Virginia last week. His 32-yarder is no good to the left. And again, Duke gets down deep in Clemson's territory and comes away with no points. 4 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in the second quarter with the missed field goal. Still Clemson 7, Duke nothing. Back at Wallace Wade Stadium, Gardner dejected on the sideline after missing a 32-yard field goal. Still Clemson 7-0. Toss sweep, Terry Allen. Cuts back, broke a tackle, and got out to the 25-yard line. Duke has done a fine job of driving it between the 20s or 30s, I guess you could say, but still no points. That last drive carried them 65 yards, and they came away with 0.
Second down and 5.
There you see. 4 times inside the 35. That is tough to take. Terry Allen, big hole. Across the 40 to the 44.
Terry Allen against the ball carrier.
Rodney Dickerson made the tackle, but not before Allen rambled for 18 yards.
Now you have the situation where the defense is starting to lose control, and
Terry Allen may be on his way to becoming our Schick Most Valuable Player, and we will choose one from each team at the conclusion of today's broadcast. Morocco on the option explodes down to the 34-yard line. The word on Morocco is that he's worked hard during spring to try to improve his option play, and boy, it showed here.
makes the right decision again to
23-yard pickup for Morocco. We're having some trouble with Jack Corrigan's mic. We're getting a little soggy up here, so Jack might be due for electrocution soon. First and 10 for Clemson at the Duke 33. Joe Henderson, and he carries would-be Duke tacklers down to the 27-yard line. Erwin Sampson and Darren Spells made the hit. 6-yard pickup for Henderson. So Allen comes in there, gets a big gainer. Morocco on the option. They give Allen a breather, and Henderson picks up. That's the way the rushing game has gone for Duke all season, for Clemson all season long. 214 yards a game on the ground, which is not only best in the conference, it's 21st in the country. Down to 2:15 to play in the half. Henderson again. Nice cutback move. And a first down inside the Duke 20, and upset with himself that he didn't get more yardage. He got 8. Erwin Sampson has been the last line of defense a number of times for Duke's defense.
The cutback ability all afternoon has been the key for the Clemson tailbacks.
Henderson with another first down for the Tigers at the 20. Under 2 minutes to play in the half. Terry Allen this time near the 17.
Gain of 3. Second down, Clemson.
See the clock working its way down to the minute-and-a-half mark, first half. Terry Allen's been the major part of the Clemson offense, as you might expect. Second down and 7 at the Duke 17. First man through, McFadden all the way to the 5. They lull you to sleep with that tailback, and then McFadden goes for a dozen yards.
The Duke secondary tried to say they came up with a fumble, but that was after Wesley McFadden had hit the ground. And what an emotional turnaround this is going to be for Duke on the negative side if Clemson finishes off this drive.
They miss a field goal on one end, and then watch Clemson take it all the way down to the 4-yard line. Not much there, maybe a yard. Doug Cly made the hit. And with 50 seconds to go in the half, Morocco wants to talk things over with Danny Ford. So Clemson takes a timeout. And we've got a chance for a timeout as well. 50 seconds to go first half. Clemson 7, Duke nothing. Back in Durham in a moment. Coming up at halftime, Mike Hogwood will have our Around the League feature, one for the books, our student athlete of the week, scores and highlights of other games. And here with 50 seconds to go in the quarter, Clemson's driven it down to the Duke 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They lead 7-0. Terry Allen didn't get there. Nice job defensively. Anthony Allen made the initial hit on Terry Allen.
3rd down and 2.
Go without a huddle here to try and conserve time down to a half minute.
3rd and goal. Allen again. Up in the air and in the end zone. Touchdown. From 2 yards out, his 2nd of the day. 13-0 Clemson.
The balance of Terry Allen, the difference there is he is now up to 110 yards rushing on the afternoon. He gets hit in the backfield, but is able to keep his footing until he crosses that goal line. The contact was made, Brad, back at about the 3-yard line, but he was going to make sure that he got into the end zone.
He's the number 2 rusher in Clemson football history now with his performance in the first half alone. And Gardocki trying to tack on number 14, and he does. Clemson over 200 yards on the ground here in the first 2 quarters. We've still got 26 seconds left before halftime. But Duke, Jack, has got to really, as you said, be demoralized by not getting points on one end and then watching Clemson take it in for a touchdown.
As you get one more look, watch again. He gets hit in the backfield. George Edwards put a pretty good pop on him, but Allen, with that remarkable balance, was able to keep his footing long enough to cross the goal line.
Clemson didn't put it in the air on that drive. Did it all on the ground. And you see Terry Allen now in the number 2 spot after passing Buddy Gore. And in his sights, Kenny Flowers, now with the Atlanta Falcons, the all-time leading rusher in Clemson history. And if Terry Allen stays healthy, he'll bring that 29-14 down in a hurry, the way he's running today. And he scored in
29-39, I guess it is, he needs now.
It's only about 2 weeks work for him, isn't it?
Yeah, really.
John Kubu will tee it up and kick it away. Terry Allen had 134 yards and a touchdown a year ago against Duke, and now over 102 scores today, and he scored in 9 straight ball games. Think about that.
What do you think? Did Danny Ford tell John Kubu, whatever you do, don't kick it to number 5, McCracken?
That's right. McCracken took it coast to coast last year in this matchup. He's back there with Randy Jones, who's not too shabby either. Kind of a spiral kick. McCracken has all kinds of trouble with it. He will down it for the touchback. Never had control, even though he touched it outside the goal line. Couldn't control it, so that is a touchback as if it were kicked out of the end zone. No difference. And Duke will start at their own 20-yard line.
Maybe the toughest ball to handle on a day like today, that squib-like kick, and Quinton did the right thing.
So Duke with just 23 seconds to work and trailing by 2 touchdowns, 2 long scoring drives, 93 and 80 yards for Clemson. Boone on the ground gets it out to the 24.
Roger Boone on the delay.
They're going to take a timeout here with 15 seconds left. Maybe try a play to get them partway up the field if they can, and then go with the home run ball, if you will. We've talked about the inability of Duke to finish off a drive this afternoon. 4 times inside the Clemson 35 and nothing to show for it. A couple of interceptions, a missed field goal. But back up one of those drives early in the drive that eventually ended in an interception when Keith Ewell was behind the Clemson secondary, had a touchdown from Billy Ray and just didn't catch the football.
He'll be holding his helmet on that one till about the middle of the week. Steve Spurrier had words with Aaron Shaw, his tight end, and Billy Ray, his quarterback. Spurrier, the ACC Coach of the Year last season, but 1-3 this year. And on the short end of a 14-0 score to the Clemson Tigers here with 15 seconds to go. They show a 4 wide receiver setup for Billy Ray. Ray drops and rolls to his left. Now he sets deep in the middle. In and out of a couple of players' hands. Brewster got a hand on it. So did Clarkston Hines, and it falls harmlessly incomplete with 7 seconds to go in the half.
Well, that was the idea. Get out to midfield if you can, and then try to put it in the end zone on the next play and hope that you come up with the miraculous catch, or perhaps the pass interference call. Now I think they're just going to run a play and finish out the time. Hines might have twisted an ankle or something a little bit trying to turn back and come up with that ball.
Could be the final play of the half right here. 3rd down and 7. Little draw play. Flags are down. Chris Brown, the fullback, barrels his way out to the 38-yard line, but a penalty marker with a second to go.
Randy Jones, the ball carrier.
If the penalty goes against Clemson, Duke will have a chance to get that home run play, and it is against Clemson, so I'm sure they'll decline the penalty. They'll use their final timeout. Well, they've got 2 left, but the final timeout they can call here with 1 second left, because now you're out to almost the Duke 40-yard line, out near the 38, and so now you try the home run play.
Timeout.
Billy Ray has the arm. Very personable kid. I had a chance to talk to him yesterday at the walkthrough practice out of Dunwoody, Georgia. Of course, went to areas with Steve Spurrier, went to Alabama. Didn't get the playing time he'd hoped for there. Transferred, sat out a year, ran the scout team last year for Steve Spurrier. Now here he is in the starting role. Coming up at halftime, Mike Hogwood, our soggy sideline man around the league. One for the books, our student athlete of the week, and then scores and highlights from other games around the conference and the country. We've been kidding Mike all day about his wetsuit down there on the sideline. He looks good in it, though, which is the main thing.
Probably drier than we are.
Yeah, that could be. 1 play till halftime. Duke trailing 14-0. Kalana, the tight end, goes and sets on a wing right. 3 wideouts to the left. Billy Ray rolls that way, will set and let it go to end the half. Hoping for a miracle. Knocked away, though, by the Clemson secondary.
Going to get 1 more play because we're going to have a roughing the passer penalty against Clemson.
Ray slow to get up. He took a shot.
He was really whacked by David Davis, and we're going to get another play. Hang on, folks. Come on back. Half the Clemson team was on its way to the locker room, but David Davis nails Billy Ray. Well, I take it back, Mr. Davis. It is not he who is a guilty party. It's redshirt freshman Wayne Simmons.
That was pretty late.
Clearly popped David Ray long after the play was over.
So Billy Ray, if he's all right, is going to have another shot, and he is not all right. Dave Brown is checking in at quarterback. Brown has a big-time arm, too, but I would think it's because Ray's shaken up. He's still trying to shake the effects of that shot in the back. And here comes the call.
Personal foul against the offense. Extend the quarter, 1 penalty.
So now we have no time on the clock, but 1 play left. Half can end on a penalty. And David Brown, who threw 3 touchdown passes in last week's loss to Virginia, is the man of the moment, as he'll have 3 wide receivers to the near side. Shows the same play and goes down. Wanted to set up and throw the same type of ball Billy Ray did. Never had a chance. Our half ends with the Duke quarterback on his backside and his team down 14 points. At intermission, it's Clemson 14, Duke nothing. We'll be back after these words from our local stations. John Kubu will kick it away. Randy Jones and Quentin McCracken are the deep men. High short kick this time. Jones will have a chance to field it on the fly at the 16 and goes straight ahead across the 30, out near the 34-yard line. Billy Ray is all right, and some final instructions from head coach Steve Spurrier. I'm sure that helps every quarterback to have a head coach who's a former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback himself. Spurrier's still got a decent arm. He threw me one at practice yesterday, put it right where he was supposed to. Of course, I dropped it, but
I won't comment.
From the shotgun, Duke at its own 33-yard line. Billy Ray throws it out to the 36-yard line. Darrell Clements, pickup of about 3. That play got them much more yardage earlier in the ball game.
I think you can see the effect of the halftime on the Clemson defensive line. They were not doing a real good job of pressuring Billy Ray in the first half. Ray took a heck of a hit on the second last play of the first half. It allowed a play after time had expired when he was popped late by Wayne Simmons.
He'll feel that one again tomorrow morning, I'm sure. Second and long. Cuthbert fights his way to the 40-yard line. And still, they're about 3.5 yards shy of the first down. So Duke trying to establish a little bit on the ground as well. They can't throw on every down, or Clemson, with the defense they have, will just be pinning the ears back on the front wall and waiting for interceptions in the secondary. Third down, almost 4 to go. Ray in and out of the hands of Roger Boone, his intended receiver at the 45. So it's 3 and out. Billy Ray will come to the sideline.
They get Clarkston Hines to clear the area, although he is really stopped up pretty well by Jerome Henderson. And you could see that Billy Ray wanted Boone to break outside, and Roger broke inside.
And they'll blow this one dead before Gardner can punt it away.
Illegal procedure. Offense, 4th down.
So Gardner will have to do it from a bit deeper. And the problems continue for Steve Spurrier. 25 yards in penalties now. And Gardner will take another shot at it. He's got plenty of room to air one out. Remember, this is his first week punting for Duke. They'd come in averaging only 29 yards a punt, so they decided to make a change. And Clemson is so adept at blocking kicks, you have to watch out for that, too. James Lott will have a chance at this one at the 31-yard line. Lott found an opening. Got 10 yards on the return to the 41, and a flag flies in late at the end of that play. See if there might have been a late hit on Duke.
They'll wait for Bob Wood to come up, and then he'll tell us.
It's going to go against Clemson, a clip on the return. So instead of having great field position at their own 41, they'll back this one up near the 30. And with 13 minutes, 28 seconds to go third quarter.
Clip on the returning team. 1st down, TV timeout.
Clemson will be on offense when we come back after these words.
First down for the Clemson.
Back at Wallace Wade Stadium, it is 14-0. Clemson in front with 13:28 to go third quarter. As the Tigers bring it up at their own 26-yard line. Terry Allen, the tailback, over 100 yards in the first half. This time he lost a yard. Let's go down to Mike Hogwood with a guy that Duke would love to have in their special teams arsenal today.
Oh, you're exactly right, Brad. Doug Peterson kicking a year ago. Bad back, can't play this year. Randy Gardner missed that field goal in the first half. I know you were talking to him at halftime.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to come out in this weather and try to get it up, especially off the ground in this field. But he's doing all right. He's going to bounce back, hopefully. One of those learning experiences.
Well, we're sorry you're not out here, but we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you.
All right, Mike, thank you. And Duke's defense stops Clemson after another short gain. The previous play, the first loss of yardage on a rush all day for Clemson. That time McFadden got it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, they are winning the battle right now with some good aggressiveness on the line of scrimmage, but here's another third down play, Brad. They've not done well there. 4 times out of 5, Clemson has converted 3rd and long.
Off play action, look out! Rodney Dickerson on the safety blitz sacks Morocco.
How about that?
Duke's defense has come out fired up.
Well, they stop the inside plays, force the pass, and they gamble with the safety blitz. You could see Jeb Flesh tried to get back and help out, but there's the speed of the safety rather than a linebacker, and he gets to Morocco.
And now Gardocki is back to his own goal line to punt. They get close to him, but he got a great kick. Wyatt Smith. Gardocki's down, and so is a flag, and Smith got nothing on the return. They brought everybody after Gardocki, and it's going to cost them. So they'll bring this back, a roughing the kicker penalty following Gardocki hitting one out of there for 45 yards the way it is.
Tough for the pursuers to keep their angles here. And actually, it was contact of a couple of Duke players into each other. That was incidental contact there.
And here comes the call.
Rather than a linebacker, and he gets to Morocco.
And now Gardocki is back to his own goal line to punt. They get close to him, but he got a great kick. Wyatt Smith. Gardocki's down, and so is a flag, and Smith got nothing on the return. They brought everybody after Gardocki, and it's going to cost them. So they'll bring this back, a roughing the kicker penalty following Gardocki hitting one out of there for 45 yards the way it is.
Tough for the pursuers to keep their angles here. And actually, it was contact of a couple of Duke players into each other. That was incidental contact there.
And here comes the call.
Well, they declined the penalty because it would not have given them a first down, and I think they felt like they're not going to get any more out of it, so let's take the good punt.
11:38 to go in the quarter. Clemson in front, 14-0. We'll be back after these words from our local stations. Duke from its own 39 on play action for Billy Ray, and now he's going to run out of there with it. And he's got a first down. Penalty marker down near the midfield stripe. Do we have a holding call, Jack?
I think it's going to be an illegal block from the back.
Clarkston Hines, his wide receiver, was out there. He might be the guilty party as we'll get another look.
Billy Ray wants to throw this ball. He waited a long time. The protection provides him an opportunity to the left. Hines trying to break back. There's an example of the team speed of Clemson. Clarkston Hines thought he was going to be able to make the block on Robert O'Neill, and O'Neill was too quick for him. And he ends up clipping him.
On the offense, 15 yards, repeat first down.
So instead of a first down in Clemson territory, it's back at the 34-yard line. Quite a difference there. 11:29 to go, third quarter. Clemson by 2 touchdowns, 14-0 from the shotgun. First and 15 for Billy Ray and the Duke offense. Screen in the middle to Cuthbert. Cuthbert breaks free. We've got a penalty marker down and another one at the end of the play. We may have a holding call. There's one flag back at the 37, and that one's going to go against Duke. And another penalty downfield after what would have been a 29-yard pickup.
Again, it's a clipping infraction. And now they're going to have 1st and 30. See if we can pick it up in the middle of your screen. Well, we can't see it anywhere where the flag went. I don't know if we could run that back one more time. We could see the official throwing the flag in the area, and Steve Spurrier wants to know who it was on.
That's decline. They had tripping. Repeat first down.
And a clip and a tripping call.
Well, that's what they called right there. After the block was made, shedding the blocker, Vince Taylor, was tripped, and that's the penalty they took. The clip was way at the end of the play. It was a tripping call, and that was a good call by the officials.
At any rate, it is 1st down and 27 to go. Duke's going the wrong way on this possession. Billy Ray to Cuthbert across the middle. Look at him break tackles. He's done that all day long. Tough kid, keeps his footing. Got it to the 28-yard line. Arlington Nunn made the hit there. Picked up 6, so it's going to still be 21 yards to go on 2nd down.
2nd down and 21.
I think we're going to see more of Randy Cuthbert in the future for this Duke football team because of his ability to stay on his feet.
And that great size, 6'3", 205. 2nd and 21. Ray in trouble, and down he goes. At the 25-yard line, Chester McLaughlin made the sack on Billy Ray.
First time today that Billy Ray has been dropped for a loss. And you have to give that Duke offensive line a lot of credit when you consider how many times they put the ball in the air. This is just the 7th sack of the season, and that was really a coverage sack because Billy Ray had enough time. They just couldn't get a man open for the Duke Blue Devils, and eventually Chester McLaughlin with just perseverance gets the sack.
Wonder what Steve Spurrier has cooked up for 3rd down and a soggy 24 out here in the rain.
Well, he wants to talk about it with Billy Ray, or at least Billy Ray says, all right, Coach, you're the Heisman Trophy winner. Help me out here.
So they will chat about it with a timeout with 9:44 to go 3rd quarter. Clemson 14, Duke nothing. We'll be back. Third down and 23 for Duke. Billy Ray under pressure again. Deep on the sideline. Going to be intercepted. And now the ball loose again after Dexter Davis fumbles it. 2nd time today that's happened, and Duke will take over. Unbelievable. Dexter Davis picks the ball off, trying to find the picket fence. Again, either Billy Ray or the wide receiver on the far side, Walter Jones, misread the adjustment on the play. That was a almost clip on Clarkston Hines, and somehow Dexter Davis just had the ball pop out of his hands. It happened to O'Neal early in the 1st quarter. It happens to Dexter Davis here, and it sets Duke up at the Clemson 23-yard line. Both wideouts to the top of your screen. They fake the end around, and Ray goes to the far sideline. That one's almost intercepted, and then a big shot by Jerome Henderson put on Roger Boone.
Let's watch the interception of Dexter Davis from the defensive perspective. Here's Robert O'Neal, the free safety, 3rd and long yard. He's dropped back and play center field, and then the ball is way over the head of Walter Jones. At the time, Brad, I was thinking, well, that worked as well as a punt, and then Dexter, trying to direct traffic, lost the football.
Trying to pick up his blockers and started to motion a little bit with his arm and then lost it. And there you see the last play where Davis comes back. It was Davis who let Boone have it on the far sideline, and Boone is still slow to get up, finally to his feet. Maybe the most versatile performer as far as a running back in the ACC, I would say. He and Jerry Mays. As far as true tailback talent, we're seeing that today from Terry Allen. But Boone is a tough customer, and he's coming off under his own power.
Well, some of the Duke fans were booing and thought the hit by Dexter Davis was uncalled for, but as soon as that ball is touched by another defender, you're fair game if the ball's still alive.
2nd and 10 Duke at the Clemson 23. They show a 3 wide receiver set for Billy Ray. Ray wants to throw the screen and does to Cuthbert. Cuthbert inside. I was going to say inside the 10. Got to the 10. It's a first down Duke. 12-yard gain.
Steve Spurrier knew this play worked before. We didn't execute it properly because of the tripping call, but this time the guys up front do the job. What a block by Kerry Metz. We call that cockroaching. Boy, he just took a guy from the Clemson defensive front and put him on his back with arms and legs twitching in the air.
And Cuthbert did the rest to get Duke a first down at the Clemson 11-yard line, trailing 14-0. Try to score. Cuthbert on a little quick draw to the 5. Arlington Nunn made the tackle. But this kid is doing the job here for Duke.
Steve Spurrier learns his own lesson too. Last time down inside the 15-yard line, he tried to sweep on first down. Now he runs the quick trap, and it's effective as he picks up good yardage, sets up a 2nd down at the 5. They can get a first down without scoring the touchdown.
2nd down and 3 at the Clemson 5. 8 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Cuthbert again. He's got the first down. It looks like he might have the touchdown. He does. We've talked about leg drive all day long, and he just drove it in the end zone.
There's a new hero in Durham. Randy Cuthbert with his 2nd touchdown of the season on the ground. Watch the leg drive. He is in the arms of Vance Hammond, but he refuses to go down. Got a little help from his friends. Chris Port was in there saying, "You'll get over there, buddy."
Gardner's point after is up and good. And now we've got a football game. As Cuthbert has 6 rushes for 36 yards, 4 receptions for 33 more, and he is one happy running back on the sideline. 14-7 Clemson.
The Devils have been able to overcome more than 50 yards in penalties, a pass that was dropped for a touchdown, a missed field goal, 4 turnovers, and they're still within 7 points of one of the best teams in the country.
If they had capitalized just one of those other times inside the 35, we may well have a tie ball game now. As it is, 14-7, and it's really changed the complexion of things a little bit here in the 3rd quarter.
I know between the two of us, we've seen a lot of football games. I know from my past experience, I've never seen a game where you've had turnovers on the same play twice in a ball game. And I'm sure for Danny Ford on the other side, he's saying, maybe these dark clouds are telling me something.
Well, he's had 2 defensive backs drop interceptions after picking passes off, and that'll make you put your head in your hands. Let's go down to Mike Hogwin on the sideline. Mike?
Well, guys, just as soon as Duke scored that touchdown, the rains almost stopped from above. I don't know what that means, but certainly the Duke players noticed that the rain has really slacked off down here.
All right, Mike, thanks. And, of course, it has not slowed down the air game much of Duke today. You have to go back a long time to find the last time Duke picked off a Clemson Tiger team, and it was in Death Valley. And an interception that's going the other way for a touchdown. One of Dennis Tabron's 3 interceptions of the day, and he took this one the distance for the score. He had a career all in a 3-hour stretch and a 17-point Duke win. Gardner to kick it away. Short kick, and it might come out of bounds again. 2nd time today that's happened. So Gardner is going to try it all over again. Cuthbert, a 5-yard touchdown run to cap a 23-yard drive in 4 plays. 1:14 the elapsed time. And Steve Spurrier's team back in the football game, down a touchdown. Spurrier told me yesterday he thought that Clemson would throw the ball a little bit on Duke. Of course, they haven't had to with the way Terry Allen's produced on the ground, but it was just another one of his concerns from a defensive standpoint. He became much more involved in spring practice with what went on the defensive side of things, and quite frankly this week he says that hadn't seemed to help one bit. He isn't too happy about his defensive coaching prowess, I guess.
Well, the loss of John Howell right before the season's opener with South Carolina certainly didn't help the Duke defense.
Gardner, better kick. Kind of a squib job that Thomas will take at the 12-yard line. Got popped at the 30 and goes down there. 18-yard return. Blue Devil special teams fired up. Their defense should be buoyed by what the offense just did. And we'll see whether or not Chris Morocco and the Clemson offense change things up much.
Now on their last possession, they ran their first 2 plays inside and got little yardage. Had to throw in 3rd and long. Duke blitzed and sacked Morocco. Let's see if they go wide with an option here on 1st down, or maybe even play action throw the ball.
They show only 1 wide receiver. They've got Gibson in as a 2nd tight end. They'll keep it straight ahead to Allen. Boy, he took a shot at about the 33. Eric Jackson made the first hit, and then Quentin McCracken is the guy that gave him a crack in the back at the end of this run.
From the defensive perspective, you see the Duke linebackers step up, and then Quentin McCracken finish it off.
Allen still managed almost 4 yards. 2nd down, a long 6 coming up for the Clemson offense, leading 14-7, 7:16 to go 3rd quarter. Morocco on the give to McFadden. Struggles his way maybe to the 37. He's still going to be 3 yards shy of the 1st down. Will bring up 3rd and 3. McCracken and Preston Anderson combined on the stop.
A little surprised at those first 2 play calls. I really expected Clemson to try and go a little wider because they have the team speed advantage to get to the corners. The Duke fans down below us hooping it up. They know this is a big 3rd down play.
It indeed is. A long 3 to go. Duke thinks about a blitz. On the option this time, Morocco didn't get there. There's the play Jack looked for 2 plays ago. Maybe it was 2 plays too late. 4th down, about a yard to go.
Rodney Dickerson doing a great job of anticipating the quarterback keeping the football. Almost all afternoon on the option, Morocco has held on to the ball. And Dickerson that time let the pitch man go and said, I'm going to force him to run the football by taking an outside-in path on him and then making the tackle shy of the 1st down.
Morocco either confident in his own ability on the option or maybe a little bit scared to pitch it in the wet conditions. Gardocki to punt. Another nice kick by Chris Gardocki. Fair catch. Wyatt Smith takes it at the 14-yard line. So Duke scores a touchdown from 23 yards out on their last drive. They hold Clemson and force them to kick, and now they've got it back, trailing 14-7 when we come back. Back at Wallace Wade Stadium, Brad Nessler, Jack Corrigan, Mike Hogwood with you with 5:50 to go 3rd quarter. Duke with some new hope, trailing by a touchdown. Duke from its own 14-yard line. They keep it on the ground to Cuthbert, who got them so much on their last drive. And he blasts his way out near the 19. Give him 5. Robert O'Neill made the stop. Elsewhere around the ACC, Demon Deacons at halftime. Tied up with Rice at 7 apiece. And next week, we're going to see Wake Forest. Jack and I and Mike will be in North Carolina, Wake Forest, and the Tar Heels next Saturday. Hope you join us for that one. Got a good one going here. Much to the chagrin of the Clemson fans that made the trip, watching their team go up 14-0, and now it's 14-7. And a 2nd and 5. Billy Ray, penalty markers down. Ray got popped pretty good as he let go of the ball. Wayne Simmons came on the blitz.
Late flag on the play thrown by the line judge down here on the near sideline. We may have an ineligible receiver. If Clarkston Hines was on the line of scrimmage, he made Dave Kalana ineligible.
Steve Spurrier was hot about the call on the sideline, as you saw.
But they tried to run a little naked boot action, and Wayne Simmons was right in the face of Billy Ray. He did a pretty good job of even getting rid of the ball. Kalana was certainly the guy involved in the action. Let's see what Bob Wood tells us.
Illegal substitution against the offense is declined. It's third down.
I can tell you what happened because I noticed it as Randy Cuthbert came off the field. Duke broke the huddle so that Cuthbert and Clarkston Hines came to the wide side of the field at the same time, and it's a new rule and a good rule, particularly in these days of situation substitutions. If you're a defensive guy, you don't know necessarily whether that guy's lining up outside or he's going out of bounds.
Right.
And maybe you can catch him. You can see the graphic indicated all the penalties we've had today.
It is third down, a long 5 after Clemson declined that last penalty. And Ray got around Simmons, might just keep this. Boy, did he pay the price for trying to get the first down, and I think he's got it by a half yard.
I really think that was a design play, Brad. I think they were going to have Billy Ray run the football. You're right, he does pay the price. He gives a look, but you can see right there he's going to run this football, particularly when you're pulling your tackle on the play. And behind Brett Talacro and Chip Natowski, Billy Ray, the junior out of Dunwoody, gets the first down.
His teammates have been calling him schoolboy for that haircut that he says another teammate gave him. He got a team of first down outside the 25, and Cuthbert takes it off left tackle out to the 30. So Cuthbert with that great leg drive and that 6'3" frame, once he gets headed in the right direction, he's good for about 4 yards, which was the case right there.
Clemson had the advantage in time of possession in the first half. They had 211 yards rushing in the first half, -1 with just 6 plays from scrimmage in the third quarter.
2nd and 6 for Danny Ford's defense and Steve Spurrier's offense. Duke from its own 30-yard line. They give it to Cuthbert straight up the middle. Fights his way near the 34. It's still going to bring up third down and about 2. Vince Taylor in on the stop. Taylor had 11 tackles last week in the game we did against Maryland.
Third down.
What the effective running game here in this third quarter does for Duke is set up more and more single coverage on a guy like Clarkston Hines. You can't double team him as much as Clemson likes to do, as everybody likes to do.
And it sets up the play action too, without a doubt. Third down, a long yard here. They've got the first down and a lot more. And Randy Jones shows some of that ACC sprinter speed as he's got a first down out near midfield. 16-yard pickup.
Old Mighty Mo is sitting on the shoulder of the guys wearing the blue jerseys right now.
Randy Jones runs a 10.600 meters, which was good enough for 4th in the Atlantic Coast Conference during the track season. So he can get you there in a hurry. And a first down at midfield for the Blue Devils. There he goes again. He's got about 7 more. Now we've seen a couple runs in a row. JC, do we see the play action for the big one?
Well, now they're getting it set up, Brad, that's for sure. Randy Jones jitterbugging his way to the crease in the defensive line at Clemson. Clemson came in as the #1 team in the conference against the run, just 73 yards a game.
Oh, nice job. Penalty markers down as Jones gets all the way to the 33-yard line. A marker down in the secondary. And it is first down, Duke. Maybe that flag just fell out of one of the officials' pocket.
You're right, it did.
They're going to wave this off.
Maybe.
Vance Hammond made the initial hit, and great thrust by another running back for Duke carries it to a first down.
I think they might have 12 guys in the field.
Well, they're going to walk the penalty off against Clemson. Andy Ford's team so penalty free for so long.
Illegal participation on the defense. 12 men on the field participating.
And they still didn't stop Randy Jones.
That's right. We've got less than 2.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Duke has had the ball for all but 6 plays.
Wow. And they whistle this one dead. I don't know that the officials were all set before Duke snapped that ball.
No, Clemson called a timeout. I think Clemson had only 10 men on the field that time.
They're trying to break even here, and they'll have 11 this time, I bet, or Danny Ford will let them know why. And the Duke players getting into it. The crowd, despite the weather, definitely becoming a factor. Trying to get Simmons off the field.
That's why they called the timeout, because they still had 12 guys on the field. Clemson had 19 penalties in their first 4 ball games. They have had half that many in less than 3 quarters this afternoon. 9 penalties for 76 yards.
And with that, Danny Ford brings the entire defense over to tell them to get their collective heads in the ball game quickly before Duke scores again.
You asked me right at the start of our telecast this afternoon, Brad, would Clemson perhaps be looking beyond Duke to the big ball game with Virginia next week? And I think you can see on a chilly, rainy day against a team they expected to dominate, their mental concentration this afternoon not to the normal Clemson standards.
And you have to credit the Duke character to hang in there despite not getting points when they got down close. Scores elsewhere around the country today. Michigan rolling on Maryland. Georgia and South Carolina a 3-point game at intermission. First down for Duke at the Clemson 19. Billy Ray for Hines. Touchdown! You don't draw them up any better than that.
We've talked before. Inside the 25-yard line, a multiple cut pattern against man coverage is almost impossible to defend. And when it's an All-American like Clarkston Hines, just that much more difficult.
Gardner, an all-important point after, is good.
Clarkston Hines with a beautiful post corner move, and Billy Ray laid it right on the money. The all-time touchdown reception man in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Watch him set up Jerome Henderson. An outside release, takes a look to the inside, then back to the corner. Billy Ray right on top of it. Touchdown, Duke. 14-14, what a ball game.
Hines adding to his own touchdown record. Let Mom know everything's all right.
Mrs. Hines like that one, that's for sure.
Hines, 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. The capper from 18 yards out on a perfect throw from Billy Ray.
To elaborate again, Brad, on that touchdown reception by Clarkston Hines, you get into man coverage down there. There's not that much space to operate. He releases, or he is leaning to the outside as he comes off the line of scrimmage. He makes that little stutter step and twists his head towards the inside. The defensive back has to respect that. When he breaks back to the outside, if the quarterback releases it in the right timing situation, right timing sequence, if you will, if he catches the ball, there's nothing that the defender can do.
And Billy Ray put it right on the numbers, and his move in the pocket, I don't know if it was play action or just a reverse pivot, but just enough maybe to freeze that secondary for that split second, and then he let it go, as Jack mentioned, exactly when he had to. And schoolboy haircut or not, we're tied at 14. Billy Ray, a happy quarterback, says he hasn't had time back in Atlanta, his hometown, in a long time, but he's going home for his sister's wedding in a couple of weeks. Kick goes out of bounds again. 3rd time today it's happened to Duke. And we take it down to the sidelines of Mike Hogwood. Mike.
Well, guys, we told you the weather has cleared up. The Duke offense is rolling, and this crowd, while not large, is starting to get into the football game. They're making a lot of noise, and you really feel it down here on the sidelines. Jack talked about old Mo's swinging to the blue shirts. It's definitely on the side of the guys in blue right now.
And remember, it's been a long time since Duke was able to pull an upset over Clemson. You have to take it back to 1980, what they did in Death Valley. There's a scoring drive, 86 yards. And the capper, the 18-yarder from Ray to Hines.
If I didn't know better, as Randy Gardner will tee it up again, and we've had it happen on every Duke kickoff, you can never tell with Steve Spurrier, particularly by the fact they went to the opposite sidelines. I'm wondering if he's trying to bloop a ball down there and beat Clemson to the football.
Could be. Maybe that was an onside attempt. I don't know. Gardner's going to try it again from the 30. Third time today the Duke has been forced to kick away from their own 30-yard line. Henderson and Thomas are the deep men. Good straight kick this time, and it's Henderson at the 13. Found a little alley, skids his way to the 37-yard line, a 24-yard return.
Now let's see what Danny Ford does with his Clemson offense. They've had the ball for just 2 series, 3 and out here in the second half. Both times he has run the ball inside on first down. That stat tells you it all after giving up 211 yards on the ground in the first half.
Terry Allen did most of that first half ground gaining for the Clemson Tigers. This time McFadden, the fullback's got some room across midfield to the 49 of Duke. He picks up 14 from his fullback spot.
But this play was designed to the outside as they take all the Duke pressure to the inside and let Wesley McFadden read it and cut to the outside. And as we've talked last week and here this afternoon, that's not a blocker who gets a taste of the ball once in a while. That's a running back who can block.
First down in Duke territory. Allen slipped, trying to make a cut, got a couple. George Edwards, a senior out of Siler City, made the tackle.
One of the changes the Duke defense has employed here in the early going of this second half when they've been on defense, as you see the hands together in unity with the Duke defense, they are occasionally taking the linebackers Darryl Spells and George Edwards and lining them up right on the line of scrimmage.
Felt they had to do that to try to counteract the running game of Clemson. Clemson to the air here. Incomplete, intended for Cooper, and broken up by Erwin Sampson.
Well, I chastised Erwin Sampson earlier in the ball game for not reacting to a play on a long pass to Rodney Fletcher. Since then, Erwin has been right on top of things, stepping up there to meet Gary Cooper. 25 on 25, advantage blue.
How often does Clemson find themselves in a tie ball game with a 3rd down and 8 in the third quarter? Doesn't happen very often, and they have failed on their last 3 third down conversions.
Down to 5 on the huddle clock.
Both wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. They get the play off. Play action for Morocco. Wants to throw a screen, and it's intercepted. Penalty markers down. Duke has picked it off. And it's one of the big linemen who's going to come out of there with it. John McDonald. Wait a minute. Roughing the passer.
Boy, what a tough break for Duke. Steve Spurrier can't believe it. And what a break for the Clemson Tigers. They're going to say as Morocco got rid of the ball, he was roughed on the screen.
The officials will huddle and talk this one over before we get the official word. Preliminary signal was a roughing the passer. Here's the call.
Roughing the passer.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know what the discussion was about. Steve Spurrier wants clarification.
Well, that's Bob Wood, the referee, who made the call. Morocco trying to set up the screen, but it is really breaking down. He gets the ball away, and it goes right into the arms of John McDonald. But the roughing penalty not only keeps the ball in Clemson's possession, but it goes all the way down to the Duke 32-yard line. Watch the left side of your screen. They had a blitz from Mike Urso, the linebacker, and apparently he got to Morocco late.
What a break for Clemson at the Duke 32 with a first down and a loose football. Morocco got back on top of it. And the Duke players are still upset out there, as you might guess. Duke's been penalized 8 times for 75 yards.
Clemson's right about there too.
I think Clemson's got more. They've got 9 for 76.
Wow, 17 penalties.
What a killer the last one was for Duke. Instead of a first down possession in Clemson territory, it's Clemson deep in Duke territory again. 2nd and 10. Yep, and McFadden takes it inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. And our quarter has expired. So Duke comes back with 2 touchdowns in that 3rd stanza. And at the end of 3, our score, Clemson 14, Duke 14. We'll be back in a moment. Back to start the 4th and final quarter at Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. Brad Nessler, Jack Corrigan, Mike Hogwood with you. And a good football game to go with it. 14 apiece. Clemson with a 3rd down and 5. Davis, the motion man. McFadden, now the pitch shot to Allen. He lost yardage. And another penalty marker down. Another penalty marker down. Let's wait and see.
That's going to go against Clemson.
It's another clip. We've seen about 3 or 4 clipping calls today.
That's the first time that Clemson has actually pitched the ball on the option, and they've got it covered. He got rid of it too soon. Morocco has been running with the ball a little longer, making the defense commit. That time he got rid of it in a hurry, and Duke certainly had anticipated that call.
Now Duke's deciding whether or not to accept the penalty, and meanwhile Gardocki awaits the decision for Danny Ford on the sideline, talking things over with the Duke captain.
Well, it would be 3rd and 25 or 4th and 10.
Clip against the offense is declined. 4th down.
And so it brings out Gardocki, and this will not be a punt. This will be a field goal try of about 49 yards. His long on the season, 48 yards against Furman. We saw him hit one with plenty to spare from 47 last week against Maryland. Duke's not buying it. They think it's a fake field goal, but not with this kid. A lot of leg on it, and it's good. What an amazing weapon Chris Gardocki's become. 49 yards, his longest of the season. It's Clemson 17, Duke 14. Back in a moment after these words. "24 seconds into the 4th quarter, Chris Gardocki hits from 49 yards out to cap a 31-yard scoring drive for the Clemson Tigers, and they lead 17-14.
Hindsight's always 20/20. I wonder if Steve Spurrier would have taken that penalty if he knew how good Gardocki was. I'm sure he did, but even he thought under these conditions he couldn't hit it from 49, his longest of the season.
Kubu will kick it away now. And Randy Jones takes it at the 6-yard line. Jones has an opening. All the way to the 43, 37-yard run back, and great field position for Duke. James Trapp might have saved a touchdown. Boy, you could see that one open up, and Jones has the speed, Jack.
Now this Duke team can explode on you from the offensive side of things. One of the best sprinters in the Atlantic Coast Conference, 4th in the 100 meters, 6th in the 200 meters last year. The junior from Winston-Salem nearly went the distance.
Duke from its 43. Cuthbert cuts outside, drags Clemson tacklers to the 49. I don't know that this year we've seen a kid with no quit in his body like Cuthbert. A sophomore, 6'3", 205. Got his leg tangled underneath him a little bit on that last run, and he comes off. But he's still got 6 yards, and 2nd down and a long 4 coming up.
Officials timeout. I think it was a problem with the huddle clock.
Kickoff returned by Jones wasn't for a touchdown, but a year ago that happened, and Quentin McCracken is the man that took it 96 yards as we flash back to a year ago. Back to the live action at the 49. Duke on the toss sweep to Randy Jones. He's going to be close to a first down. Might have it by the length of the football.
You want to talk about a confident offensive unit right now. That certainly is the case for the Duke Blue Devils because they are doing it both ways. They always know they can throw the ball, but they've been able to run the ball. They're going to bring the chains nearly the width of the field to make it official, but it certainly appears that Randy Jones with the extra lunge picked up the necessary yardage.
If the chalk lines are straight, we'll say the length of the football, just for a guess here with 13:28 to go. Billy Ray looking to the sideline. And they stretch it out. Now we missed by a couple inches. A little bit more than the length of the football.
Not bad, fella. Must have had your contacts clean this week.
That's right. And we know the field's straight too now. So Duke driving, as Jack said, showing more and more confidence with each snap of the ball. And they have it at the Clemson 36, trailing 17-14, fourth quarter. Jones stays in there as the tailback. Play action for Billy Ray. Got it complete to Hines. Out of bounds at the 33 and another first down. Pickup of about 13 yards.
How did he get his foot down inbounds? In all kinds of traffic, Hines goes airborne, makes the catch. Look at him get that left foot down. He reached back underneath the Clemson defender to make this a legal catch. Wow.
Wow, we got both of them down.
He is now the all-time reception yardage leader in ACC history.
Well, he did it in style with that catch. And Jones gets it to the 30-yard line. So Hines, who we mentioned, had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, having a big day here today. And that's being announced now to the folks here at Wallace Wade Stadium. And he's getting the high fives in the huddle. Everybody knows now at the stadium what we knew a play or two ago. Standing ovation for Clarkston Hines. A certain #1 draft choice in the NFL this year.
Without question.
2nd and 7, Blue Devils. Near the Clemson 30. The fullback Brown got maybe 2 yards. David Davis, the nose tackle, made the hit.
And they just beat the huddle clock. They were congratulating Clarkston, and well, they should have, but the huddle clock was moving, and that was snapped with about a half a second before it would have been delay a game.
And the game clock has moved its way under the 12-minute mark. 6 out of 10 on third down conversions today for Duke. They need this one, obviously. Billy Ray rolls to his right, might keep it. Didn't get there. Nice open field tackle by Arlington Nunn.
Well, he didn't wait long enough. I think in his mind he was going to say, well, you give me one, I'm going to take the other. There's the speed of the Clemson defense. If he would have waited one more tick, watch this. He's still trying to catch him betwixt and between, but they are so fast and sure tackling in the open field that he was not able to get it. Duke is going to talk about it as they use their second timeout.
They'll have a 4th and 3 when we come back after these messages. Brad Nessler, Jack Corrigan, Mike Hogwood with 11:22 to play at Wallace Wade Stadium, and the Tigers of Clemson holding a 3-point lead, and Duke almost 50% on their 4th down conversions on the season, have a 4th and a long 3 here. Billy Ray fires. It's intercepted by Lott. James Lott going the other way. And Ray runs him out of bounds. But interception number 4 could prove to be the killer for Duke today.
I don't know what Billy Ray was looking for. He had a man wide open in the middle of the field for a first down. It looked like he was trying to go deep to Clarkston Hines, thinking Hines was going to run a post pattern. Roger Boone is all alone at first down yardage, and there is nobody there where James Lott picked off the ball because Hines had again broken to the corner, and I think Ray thought he was headed towards the post. Actually, it was Darrell Clements who he expected to go to the inside. Hines was the clearing man.
Offensively, Clemson takes over and keeps it on the ground to Henderson, who got it across the 35.
But they'll look at the films tomorrow night when they meet, and the coaches will point out we had to get the first down, and Roger Boone was open for the first down.
Spurrier, I'm sure, telling Billy Ray that right now. Still plenty of time left in the game. The Duke defense just has to get back to work like they've played in this second half. Morocco got it to the 38, and it will bring up third down and almost 5 to go. So Duke still doing a tough job defensively. Darrell Spells and George Edwards combine on the hit there. Duke trailing by a field goal with 10 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And Clemson has a third down and 5.
And Gary Cooper comes back into the ball game. They had been operating with 2 tight ends. You'll get Cooper and Fletcher in a twin set to the bottom of the screen and another wide receiver at the top.
They haven't used Cooper much today. Morocco fires outside. Terry Allen, what a catch. Keeps his footing and into Duke territory to the 45-yard line.
Erwin Sampson, the free safety, fell down trying to get upfield to cover Terry Allen. They had run this play early in the ball game, and Morocco overshot. See, Sampson had fallen down. That gave Allen more running room down inside the 45-yard line of the Duke Blue Devils.
First completion for Clemson here in the second half. A tough catch for Terry Allen because he had gotten all turned around on a soggy field, made the catch, and then wheeled and dealed for 17 yards to the Duke 45. First down, Tigers. Little delayed give. Allen on the ground for 4 more to the 41. Darrell Spells made the hit. This is where Clemson can really kill you now with ball control.
That's what Clemson wants to do. Just keep taking time off the clock, go down and get a clinching touchdown. From the Duke perspective, you can afford to bend a little bit because you've got a quick strike offense, but you can't allow them to score 7. You've got to either force the punt or at best a field goal.
Second down and 6. Terry Allen again breaks tackles inside the 35 and a first down for Clemson.
He is going to be the man that the Tigers are going to keep calling and keep calling. You get on that big horse, or in this case, a 5'11", 200-pounder, and you ride that gentleman for all that he is worth.
Terry Allen having another Terry Allen type day, I guess. 23 carries, 115 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Here he comes again. Met head on that time by George Edwards. That'll bring up second down and long with the clock working its way down near 8.5 minutes to go in the ball game.
For some other ball clubs, the clock would be more of an increasing factor. It certainly could be for Clemson if the situations were reversed. For Duke, it's not quite as big a factor. Danny Ford knows that, so he feels, hey, we got to get 6 guys.
Second and 9 for Morocco and the Clemson offense. Terry Allen. Nice job defensively by Duke. Allen got a couple, but he'll always get you a couple. Anthony Allen hit him low, and then Edwards came in and cleaned up.
Third and long yardage. Anticipate again the multiple wide receiver set, and again perhaps they will put Allen on a wing or in motion as they did on the previous third down play and try and isolate him one-on-one and get him the football.
The wideouts will be Chip Davis there to the bottom of your screen and Gary Cooper to the top. Third down and 7. The option to Allen, had to make a great catch on the pitch, and what a force play by Derek Jackson.
this is what it looked like for Terry Allen. He made a great catch, but had no chance to try and plant his feet and cut back. You have to credit that play in a lot of ways to Darryl Spells, the rookie linebacker out of Richwood, Texas. He closed off Morocco immediately and forced Morocco to make the pitch. Clemson's going to take another timeout and decide, do we punt or try another field goal? The field goal, while it helps forcing Duke to have to get a touchdown to take the lead, a touchdown and an extra point, but the field goal still doesn't put you where you want to be.
Right, especially against an offense like Duke's. And you can see they won't stop it much more today. Clemson and Duke each with one timeout left. 7:07 to play for Gardocki. Jack, we're talking about 49 or 50 yards again.
About the same range as the last one. This time, however, it's on the right hash rather than more in the middle of the field, which might change the perspective a little bit. You also have to think, do we gamble going for it on 4th and long and keep a drive alive? If you don't get it, you're going to give the Duke Blue Devils pretty good field position. And coaches get lots of people involved when they weigh those options. The guys upstairs, the guys alongside Danny Ford on the sidelines. I'm sure the players themselves have a few words.
And you know that if he asked Gardocki probably just said, Coach, just give me the shot and I'll knock it through. But that's not going to be the case. They will go for it on 4th down and 9. So the play of the day is Gardocki stays on the sideline for the Duke defense. If they can prevent a 4th and 9, they'll get it back, trailing only 3 points. Morocco throws the out, got his man, but he didn't get the first down. Derek Jackson again makes the tackle, this time on Gary Cooper, and Duke takes over on downs. Clemson only 1 out of 4 on 4th down conversion attempts this season, and they don't get this one.
Again, trying to run the underneath route and let the big play guys do their thing with the talent. Gary Cooper was not able to get away from Derek Jackson, the sophomore out of Long Valley, New Jersey, and then George Edwards came over and finished off the play.
From their own 27, the Blue Devils with a first down. They only have one timeout remaining, and I think they were just forced to use it. And that is something you don't want to happen with 7 minutes left in the ball game in a close ball game. Clemson with the lead, 17-14, 7 minutes to play. We'll be back. Seven minutes to play at Wallace Wade Stadium with the hometown Blue Devils trailing by a field goal and out of timeouts. But they've got the arm of Billy Ray. He uses it again to Cuthbert, who slips and falls as he got it out to the 32-yard line. Billy Ray's been intercepted 5 times today, which equals a school record previously held by Jerry Barger, who did it 25 years ago against Navy. But he only threw 10 passes that day. Half of them went to the wrong guy.
Boy, Clemson's in a near prevent situation. They are only rushing 3 or 4 guys and sometimes just 2.
2nd and 6 for the Duke offense. Ray fires his tight end. Galano makes the catch. First down, Duke.
The Duke offensive line has done a remarkable job protecting Billy Ray all afternoon. They have really shut down John Johnson, the speedy bandit defensive end that usually pressures the quarterback.
16-yard pass play. And they keep it on the ground to Cuthbert. Penalty markers down in the middle of the field. We may have a holding call as Cuthbert got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And it is going to go against Duke.
Penalties aplenty in this one. We're nearing 20 on the afternoon combined out of Clemson and Duke.
Duke's got 9 for 85 on the day. Here's a call.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
We've got 161 yards in penalties split between these two teams. Each have 9 penalty markers on the day. And they'll both hear about that. Both teams will hear about that this week. Under 6 minutes to play. 1st and 20 now for Duke. Clemson thinking about a blitz. Billy Ray off play action. Deep in the middle. Hines makes the catch. He's about a yard shy of the first down, but he picks up a big chunk to the 44-yard line.
Clarkston almost jumps too soon here. He knows the ball is high. He's trying to keep himself gathered on this slippery turf. Makes the catch, protecting the ball with his body. Billy Ray saying, hey, when it counts, go to Mr. Money.
Nice hang time by Hines, huh? Pickup of 18. 2nd and 2. Second man through, and it's Jones for the first down inside the Clemson 40.
Keep in mind, if Duke goes down and scores to take the lead, Clemson has only 1 timeout remaining.
Let's hustle down to Mike Hogwood on the sideline. Mike?
Well, Brad, there's one weapon that Duke hasn't used a lot here in the 4th quarter, and it's Roger Boone. You notice he hasn't played a whole lot. The main reason is that Randy Jones and Randy Cuthbert are playing so well that Roger Boone hasn't seen a lot of playing time, but he's on the sidelines, he's fresh, and he's ready. Watch out. Roger Boone gets in there.
First down for Duke inside the Clemson 40. Ray winging it again. Jones makes the catch. Dives to the 27. They'll move the chains again.
Dexter Davis saved a touchdown. Walter Jones was almost able to step out of the tackle of Dexter Davis. What a job picking up the blitz of the Clemson linebackers. Kerry Metz, the center. Dexter Davis with the ankle tackle. Vince Taylor was on the blitz, and Kerry Metz picked him up nicely.
We've moved under the 4.5-minute mark in the ball game. Duke trailing by a field goal, and they've driven to the 28 of Clemson. Here comes a blitz. Ray going deep for Jones. Broken up. Nice job by Jerome Henderson, the cornerback, and that was a pretty play really all around.
As they cross the goal line, Walter Jones and Jerome Henderson, I thought this was a Duke touchdown. Henderson, with a final burst of speed, just got there to get a piece of the football. Billy Ray stepped up around the blitz. You see Jones looked to be in position, but Henderson with a great play.
2nd and 10 for Duke. Kalana, the tight end, the slot man there to the right side. Ray over the middle, threw into traffic, and Jones, did he make the catch? Nope, they're going to say incomplete. And that's a break for Duke. Had they ruled that a catch, it would have been a fumble and a Clemson recovery. As it is, 3rd and 10, Blue Devils.
He wants to go deep. There is nobody there, so he goes to Randy Jones short. Randy never had possession of the football as it squirted away.
2 down territory here. Duke's got 2 cracks to go 10 yards because they're too far away for a field goal attempt right now to try to tie the game.
Gary Metz saying the ball is too wet. The one problem for Duke here, though, is they've got to rely on Billy Ray's ability to get it done because they don't have any timeouts to set up a particular play here on 3rd or 4th down.
Nice job by Kerry Metz to make the call and get a dry ball in there for quarterback Billy Ray on 3rd and 10. For his tight end, Kalana's got it at the 11-yard line.
What a pass. What a pass. Dexter Davis and Arlington Nunn are right there. Kalana in between the two of them, and Billy Ray puts it right on the money. They're going crazy down below us here in Durham. This ball could not be thrown any more perfectly.
First down just outside the 10. Second man through is Randy Jones to the 8-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play. Duke trying to score to go in front. Remember, they trailed 14-0 at halftime. Gave up a field goal, and that's it this half.
If you're Steve Spurrier and it gets to 4th down, do you go for the win?
He's the kind of guy that probably would.
Yeah, what a situation for Danny Ford and Steve Spurrier.
2nd down and 7. Duke at the Clemson 8-yard line. Billy Ray in the flat. Jones can't hang on at the 5. Relatively safe pass by Ray, and then he put it in a spot where if Jones couldn't make the catch, nobody could.
The difficulty for Duke right now is they just don't have that much room. You're talking about 17 yards of real estate for Billy Ray.
Ray's thrown it against Danny Ford's defense for 254 yards and a touchdown, but keep in mind he's been intercepted 5 times. He's got a 3 wideout set here. 3rd and 7, Duke. Billy Ray to the end zone, touchdown! And it is Chris Brown, the fullback. Second reception for Brown today. This one for the touchdown, and Gardner's extra point gives Duke the lead. Do you believe it? 3:18 to play as you get another look at Ray to Brown for the score, and Duke leads. The Duke Blue Devils travel 72 yards in 11 plays. 3:42 the elapsed time as their fans are going wild at Wallace Wade Stadium. There's the man that got him the lead, Chris Brown, the fullback. A 7-yard touchdown reception. It is 21-17. There you see the scoring drive, and it was impressive. Gardner to kick it away. Henderson and Doug Thomas, the deep man. It comes to the near side. Taken at the 7 by Thomas. And a great defensive play, I should say, a special teams play by Eric Volk, who made the tackle. And his old man could play a little football, too.
His daddy, Rick Volk, was a great open field football player, and Eric Volk with a great open field tackle puts Clemson on their own 16-yard line with only 1 timeout remaining and just over 3 minutes on the clock.
We have not seen Clemson be forced to try to play come-from-behind football. They've got it here, trailing by 4. They still keep it on the ground. Terry Allen will lose yardage. Derek Jackson, another tackle.
If the Clemson Tigers are to be ACC champions and potential national champions, this is the time right now.
This is where you earn it and prove it to the rest of the country. Morocco out in the flat. Look out. McFadden on the run all the way to the 41-yard line. 26 yards. Morocco to McFadden.
Remember, just 1 timeout left for Clemson, and they have to score a touchdown. McFadden this time running the little turnout route from the backfield. Anytime you get one of their running backs in the secondary, you feel Clemson's got a chance to take it the distance.
McFadden and Allen in the I backfield. Terry Allen across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Got 5 more yards, and the clock down to the 2.5-minute mark.
It wasn't moving, and that's what had the fans and the Duke sidelines pointing. You'd expect that on the road, not in your own stadium.
I was going to say, you got your own clock operator here. Cooper and Davis, the wide receivers, on a 2nd and 5. Morocco in trouble. Got away from one man. Incomplete, intended for McFadden as fullback. Great pressure from Darryl Spells on Chris Morocco.
And also the blitz coming in from Rodney Dickerson to put pressure on the quarterback.
There's Dickerson, there's Spells, and there's the incompletion at the end of that play. Morocco 7 out of 13, 104 yards. on the day. Clemson's got a big third down coming up. They're 6 of 11 on third down conversions. 2:05 to play. Trailing 21-17 to the upset-minded Duke Blue Devils. Allen got the first down and some more into Duke territory at the 43-yard line. What a player.
If there is a better tailback in the country than this guy, I'd like to meet him. Because he must really be special, because number 21 is very special to Danny Ford and his Clemson Tigers.
Here he comes again. To the 38, maybe the 37 of Duke, with the clock winding down. You see it there in the corner of your screen.
I say his knee touched on the 39-yard line. And it's the problem for Clemson, though. They've got to put it in the end zone.
Gardocki does them no good in this situation. Allen, not much. George Edwards. I'd wager a guess he's made a dozen tackles today.
Well, they've been forced to go with just 2 linebackers most of the day. Mark Allen got hurt early. John Howell, their defensive captain, has been out since before the season began. And George Edwards, the senior, has led the way for the Duke defense. Under a minute to go.
The Duke bench exhorting the crowd. Morocco on the option to Henderson. He almost lost the ball, and then he's dropped by Preston Anderson.
They wanted to throw the football. They were going to have Henderson throw the option. They've called a timeout here on 4th down, but somebody forgot to block Preston Anderson, the junior out of Norwalk, Connecticut, who had good pressure earlier in the ball game on an interception that was taken away. Watch right here. They never blocked the defensive end, and he was coming strong up the field. And Henderson never had any chance to run or pass the ball.
Timeout with 44 seconds to play. Duke 21, Clemson 17. Back after this word from your local station. Duke. For Clemson, the play of the game, maybe the play of the season. 4th and 12. Morocco goes deep for Cooper, and it's almost intercepted. And Duke is going to shock the number 7 team in the country.
What a second half by the Duke defense. After giving up 211 yards on the ground in the first half, they've given up just 54 in the second half. Shut down the Clemson offense on 4th down, trying to run a deep corner route to Gary Cooper. He slipped and fell, but there was good coverage anyway, and Danny Ford's hopes for an unbeaten season have perhaps gone by the boards.
And that 4th straight ACC crown very much in jeopardy, as they're about to go to 1-1 on the season. basketball season, there's maybe no crazier group in the country than the Duke kids and the student section. Today they're ready to storm the field for Steve Spurrier as he has shocked Danny Ford's Clemson Tigers. And what great grit by the Duke Blue Devils as they have won it and pulled off the upset. Trying to find Steve Spurrier in the mayhem at midfield.
Last Saturday in the disappointment. Well, Mike's got Steve Spurrier. Let's go down to Mike.
We're down with Steve Spurrier right now. Coach, what a great win. What a great win for your team and for your program.
Well, this is what college football is all about. Not hardly anybody gave us a chance today. Nobody believed in it but our players, and that's what counted.
What about your receiver, Clarkston Hines, set the all-time record today? He's a great one.
He's a great player. They all were great. Let me get in this celebration.
All right, he wants to go celebrate. He deserves it. Steve Spurrier, coach of Duke.
Thank you, Mike. As Danny Ford, a dejected Clemson coach, walks off 4-1 and 1-1 in the ACC. Let me tell you something, if you've missed it sometime this week, that Steve Spurrier said after his team was demoralized and beaten by the Virginia Cavaliers. That man said, we've only got one chance in a million to beat Clemson. Well, the 999,999 went the other way, and they pulled a shocker here at Wallace Wade Stadium today. Let's take a look at our option play of the game, brought to you by Option Gray Coverage for Men, the advanced way to get rid of the gray.
Duke came out with a spread formation, 3 wide receivers. They also flanked out their tight end and left the middle open. And Chris Brown, the fullback, slipped out over the middle, caught the touchdown, the biggest catch of his collegiate career.
And you could almost see him praying that football in between the 2 threes. And all he wanted to do was catch it, wheel, and dive. And he got to the end zone. And the goalpost, in fact, is down in that end zone, courtesy of the student body here in Durham, North Carolina. Final score, Duke wins it 21-17. And they get their first win in the ACC. So as far as the conference standings, they're dead even with Clemson, believe it or not. Each team at 1-1.
And of course, this score, as it echoes throughout the rest of the conference in Raleigh, where the Wolfpack was playing Kent State this afternoon, in Charlottesville, as the Cavaliers tangle with William and Mary, they realize now that the preseason choice, the Clemson Tigers, have a loss on the ledger, and the ACC title truly is up for grabs here in 1989.
As you see, the first one over Clemson since 1980. They did that one in Death Valley. That was 34-17, and a young offensive coordinator named Steve Spurrier had a quarterback named Ben Bennett who got the job done that day. The last time Duke picked Clemson off here in Durham was way back in 1975. 25-21 was the score in that one. Time now to take a look at our Schick Most Valuable Players on the day, and here they are. Terry Allen from Clemson, and as Jack said, if there's somebody better in the country, we certainly haven't seen him yet. And Billy Ray, though he threw 5 interceptions, those 2 touchdown passes are the ones that made the difference. Ray 261 yards and 2 scoring tosses on the afternoon. As part of the Schick Most Valuable Player Award Scholarship Program, Schick will donate $2,000 to the Atlantic Coast Conference to be distributed among the member institutions under a conference-approved plan. The new Schick Slim Twin Razor System. It reaches every place on every face. I don't even know if Billy Ray shaves yet. He looks like he's 14, but he did it today with a couple of touchdowns, including one with 3:18 to play, and Duke pulls off the upset.
And what he did in the ball game, as you mentioned, Brett, he had the 5 interceptions. Look at the fans going crazy down by one of our camera positions down on the near sidelines. The Duke fans saying, hey, this is better than Cameron Indoor, guys. But Billy Ray demonstrated one thing that a quarterback has to be able to do. You're the leader of that football team. And regardless of whether the day is going well or poorly for you, you've got to step up, grab your people, sometimes physically, and lead them to victory if you can. And that's what Billy Ray did this afternoon. He was able to get back his team into the ball game in the second half, and it carried the defense along. And when you got a guy like Clarkston Hines, who became the all-time leader in the ACC, running great patterns like this, it's easy to see why Duke was able to come back. We have to give a lot of credit to Hines and Billy Ray and Randy Cuthbert and all those people on the Duke offensive side of things. But what a second half by an undermanned Duke defense to limit Clemson to just 3 points.
The executive producer of ACC football is Jimmy Rayburn. Steve Craddock produced today's game. Director was Dave Burchett. Associate producer Beverly Rumley. Graphics producer Ken Neal. Our network coordinators Tony Johnson and Barbara Pavat. Technical director Terry DeCarlos. And the rest of our fine crew on a wet day in Durham, North Carolina. But it didn't prevent the Duke Blue Devils from doing what they do best, and that's throw the football to the tune of about 300 yards a game. Today, same type of story. Billy Ray, 261 yards through the air. He spread it around to Hines. Kalana, his tight end. Roger Boone caught 5 passes today, and then Chris Brown, the fullback, who had the one that mattered the most for the winning touchdown. They'll celebrate in Durham for a long time on this one. The final score here at Wallace Wade Stadium, the Duke Blue Devils, a 21-17 win over the number 7 team in the country.
And we're going to have to go some to top a ball game like this, but the coaches told us at the beginning of the year this was as balanced as the Atlantic Coast Conference has been in a number of seasons. And if our first 4 weeks are any indication, they were right on the button, because this collection of coaches that we have in this conference now know how to prepare their teams, know how to get the talent to stay at home. People like Terry Kirby at Virginia, people like Clarkston Hines here at Duke, and you can go on and on. Terry Allen. I mean, they're all at each one of these schools, making each week for us, Brad, an awful lot of fun with some very, very fine football.
We look to have some more fun next week as Bill Dooley and Mac Brown's teams will square off. We've got Wake Forest and North Carolina for you a week from today. And if we have as much fun as we did in this one, as Jack mentioned, it'll be unbelievable. Clemson's last chance on a 4th down, and here it is.
Tried to run that corner route to Gary Cooper to at least get the first down, if not get it all, but Cooper was not able to keep his footing. Good coverage by Duke, and as the ball rolled away, so went Clemson's dreams of a national championship.
And a 21-17 win, the upset for Duke over the Clemson Tigers. Next week, as we mentioned, it'll be Wake Forest and North Carolina. Jack and I and Mike Hogwood will be there to bring you all the action. Hope you join us. You've been watching JP Sports exclusive coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football.